Hello, everybody! If it's Wednesday, it's Warhammer, and that must mean it's time for another episode of Warhammer Weekly. Joining me, as always, he's back on the show. It's Tom. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hello, friends. My audio is messed up. I'm so sorry.
It is messed up. Yes, Tom. Why did you not fix this before the show? Fix your
I
audio.
just saw it.
That's fine. We didn't
Hey,
because
everybody.
Tom joined and then stepped away because his wife needed something, and so we didn't get a chance to check his audio. So I apologize. Tom, fix it. Meanwhile, while he's fixing that, we'll go to our guest.
It's Wednesday.
Who,
It's Warhammer, and that must mean it's time for
also fix all of that. Fix whatever's happening.
That's not me.
Oh, it's Caleb. Okay,
That's
got it.
Caleb.
Caleb,
Oh,
we
it's
gotta mute
Caleb.
you. There you go. That's all right.
I'm so
You gotta
sorry.
mute the other thing. It's okay. It's a cavalcade of it's exactly the level of quality everybody's come to expect from the great show Warhammer Weekly. Anyways, Caleb's here. Hey, buddy, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Check this out. So I apologize, Tom. Fix it.
My fault.
We gotta have you mute whatever is happening there, Caleb.
I will.
Whatever's going on. Okay. Like, you don't need to mute yourself. Mute whatever the thing is that's making the sound, or put in some headphones or something. I didn't hear anything beforehand. Shout out to Betty with this first super chat of the show saying, "All hail Tzeentch." Absolutely. Boy, let me tell you what. If you love Tzeentch, this is the show for you. My audio is tinny as well. Oh boy. Oh boy, fam. What is happening here? We'll take a look. My audio should be fine, but I see why. Apologize, everybody.
I'm going to switch over to my camera mic and not my good mic because I can't find my good mic.
No, it's fine. You sound okay now. Keep yourself where you are. You changed it over to whatever it was.
It's still not
Okay.
my good mic. I still can't find your good mic. It's just not there.
You need to fix your computer. Okay. Is that better, everyone? Hopefully that should be much better as far as sound goes. Now it's fixed. And then, all right, Caleb, let's try you. Go ahead and come off mute.
Because I can't find my good mic.
I'm off mute now.
You sound okay now. Keep yourself where you are.
Do you have the show playing on something?
You changed it over to whatever it was.
That's what it is. It's playing on something. Because you can hear me in real time, but that's the show.
Yeah, I definitely hear the show on its delay.
Yes.
I know that. Because
All right,
I've been, that's been me.
Did we fix it? Okay.
I think we fixed it.
All right, everybody, we got there.
All right.
Okay. Hey, so anyways, we're going to talk about Tzeentch today. There we go. Very excited. Caleb, we are remiss. This is the first time we've had Caleb on the show, even though I've known Caleb for years. For those who don't know Caleb, he's maybe like...
We've had on the show, haven't we, Caleb?
I think we had him on the show, not since the new version. It's been many years, I think. But either way, it doesn't matter.
Been on the show.
Look,
Have I?
I'm sure of it.
I feel that's what I said too, but maybe not since Discord. But look, either way, Caleb's one of the best Tzeentch players in the freaking world. One of the best Warhammer players around, absolutely, period. And he and Tom have played each other in the final round of tournaments a couple times. So that's been always a great time. And I don't get to play Caleb very often because I'm not very good. So Caleb and I don't meet very often. He's at a higher table than me, but I watch his games and I'm always very impressed. There you go.
Make me blush a little bit.
It's all true, my friend. You are the Lord of Change. That is for sure in this. So we brought on the absolute expert, and so we're gonna get into it. But of course, first, as always, the news. Tom, what do you got? We only got a couple quick news items.
Let's do Rumor Engine.
Yeah, let's do it. That's fine. It's something for the old world.
Yeah, it's a very cities, like an old world cities, like floopy.
Yep. It's an old world thing. Great. Okay. Cool.
We do have that new warband though. That new Underworlds warband. That's kind of sick.
Yes, we have. So OBR has a new Underworlds warband, Thanatek's Tithe. It's got two of the weird little new ninja guys in it. a little floating spellcaster, and 2 of the dumbest looking models I've ever seen in my entire life. What is this? What is this? What are these? Why do they have rocks in them? And why is their head like that? Why is any of this like this? I don't get it.
Because the sculptors wanted to sculpt it.
I guess. Shush your face. All right, it's puppy time, everybody. To make up for the bad
Puppy
audio
time?
at the beginning.
42.2 pounds.
All right. There you go.
Oof.
Puppy time?
There you go.
Little puppy. Little big puppy.
She's like, what, 5 months old now?
5 months old.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's almost bigger than you.
Yeah, she's a big girl. She's growing up fast. She was the smallest one in her litter too, but there you go.
How big her feet are.
So there you go. Yes, there's Tom's dog as well.
Charlie.
Hi. Okay. All right. There you go. Puppy update for everybody. Everybody hit like for the dog for the constant puppy updates. Yes.
Yes.
She's being very good. She's learning very fast. So there you go.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go with them.
Come on.
All right. All right. Absolutely. Okay. All right, back. Hades with the super chat. Glad to see more glaives. Glaives is an AOS. We need more glaive units. I hope LRL gets a really cool glaive unit in the future. I mean, I guess they do have, there are 2 guys here with glaives. I suppose that's some kind of defense of them. But I think these guys look as dumb as possible. I can't stand them.
Do you just think that they felt the need,
No, I have no
don't
answers, Tom.
understand. Because clearly it has this it harkens to this tombstone look, right? Like undead that have come out
Sure.
of the grave.
Sure.
But that's not how OBR are made.
I don't know what it's.
They're formed from bone.
Yeah.
They don't come out of graves.
Yes.
What's the logic here?
I don't know. Someone took some form of psychedelic drug, I assume, and then proceeded to sculpt a miniature. I have no other explanation for this. Hades says, I think it's funny that they have coolers embedded in their body. Yes, it does. It looks like the other 2 guys would pop the top and crack a cold one. Okay. So there you go. All right. Enough of these idiots. Okay. Let's move on. Let's go to some pick of the week. Tom, what would you like to share with everybody? What would you like to put on blast there for our audience? What video, whatever would you like to share?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been on YouTube at all this week.
You have not been on YouTube at all this week. What do you? Oh yes, because would you want to explain to everybody why? You have a good reason for this. What happened, Tom? We should tell the audience so we can celebrate your good news.
I don't have a contract yet, so I'm not gonna celebrate yet.
Okay, got it. Okay,
I'm waiting on the actual contract to make the announcement. So,
all right. Well, then I won't put you on the spot. Tom is in the middle of a very large project. How about that? Is that fair? That is requiring a huge amount of his time. So there you go. And it's a good thing, and I hope it all works out for you. All right. Caleb, is there anything you watched or saw or listened to that you wanna share out with the audience?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you guys have spoken about it yet, but Casper, watching him, talk about the Warhammer Championship, he made a YouTube video of just kind of his experience going, actually going to the event and playing against different people from all around the world and the challenges. We have our own local meta. We have the strong individuals in America, but man, are there some amazing players, outside of this country, and vice versa, and so just kind of watching his journey, and he played Tzeentch, so I was definitely appreciating him winning last year, and his journey, it's just really, really cool, just kind of see what he was doing. So big shout out to Casper.
I love it. That's fantastic. For mine, if you want to see other celebration of Tzeentch, Haywo did a little stream. I guess a day ago now, 2 days ago, day ago. I don't know. He did it recently. Doesn't really matter. I think it was Monday. And he went over the whole Tzeentch book, as well as, of course, standard like walking and talking time. He did some commander deck tech. It was a wide ranging show, but his excitement was my excitement. Like I just knew he was gonna. I talked to him like on Sunday before he did the review, and I was like, he hadn't really read the book yet, and I was like, dude, you're gonna love this. This is gonna blow your mind. And sure enough, it was exactly as I had foreseen. So there you go. Okay.
So
Cool. Oh, go ahead.
here's the deal.
Yeah.
Caleb, you're right. I don't think you've been on the show. So I dug through all of the old Tzeentch episodes.
It's
Well-
it's all good.
Martin seemed pretty convinced he was on one time in 2015, 2016, and that would have been under very old tech. But it doesn't matter. We're gonna fix this era going forward. Caleb's officially in the family now, so that's it. Once you're part of
It's
the
a travesty.
family. Mhm.
Appreciate
I'm saying
it.
it's a trap.
Yeah, it is. It is a trap. That's true. Okay, let's talk about some hobby time. Tom, I assume because of your project, you have worked on absolutely bupkis.
0. I have Shatterpoint stuff that's arrived that I want to build, and I haven't touched it yet because I've been working on this.
I understand. It's okay.
So nothing. 0.
It's okay.
0 hobby.
That's fine. I knew this would be the case. We will talk about it on a future show, and we'll all celebrate with Tom. Caleb, what about you, buddy? What have you been? I mean, I know what you're working on right now. Talk about what you were literally working on right before the show, because I'm not sure. I've shouted you out on the show before, but I want everybody to know.
Yeah. I mean, well, in terms of Warhammer, I don't know if a lot of people don't know this, but I also play Flesh Eater Courts, and so
wow.
I'm, building, Crypt Guard, Forge World, Empire models, and have all the cool delusions and things like that. In terms of
Nice.
what I was just working on, I'm actually working on a customer's order for a set of their, measuring sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm literally trimming the felts. Something I just finished actually is the Flesh Eater Quartz token board.
Beautiful.
Made out of different types of woods and rules and whatever. But yeah, just kind of staying busy working on customers, measuring sticks and scoreboards and tokens and Flesh Eaters. And I'm waiting for my shards to show up. Unfortunately, I played that tournament and the pre-orders came out, and then all of a sudden everything sold out.
Yeah.
And so I clicked okay, I'll buy it. And when do I get it? Okay, the 21st. Okay. All right, I'll wait. So
I just used some 80 mil bases in my test game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Caleb, who, by the way, I have used. Caleb was nice enough to send me a set of those incredible measuring sticks, and I literally
They
use
are
them.
amazing.
I literally use them in every game. I use them this weekend. Every single game of Warhammer I play, I use them. So, Caleb, if other people were interested in getting some of these awesome, amazing, custom game aids that you make, where would they go?
So I mean, the many places. One is my Etsy shop. So Dorkdom Gaming is the I guess the branding on Etsy. If you just look up measuring sticks, you'll probably see all my measuring sticks on there as well. You can always email me too. You can Discord me. Literally, my Discord handle is my name. My email is my name @gmail.com. No dots, no periods. So however you want to get a hold of me, or if you have any questions about Tzeentch, I'm always there.
I will include the link to your Etsy storefront down below. I really couldn't recommend the thing enough. Like this is the classic Infinitoken situation. Caleb is not a sponsor in any way. I am not financially compensated for this. I just think Caleb makes an incredible product. I know how much work he puts into it. All this stuff is like handcrafted by him. He takes like a great amount of care into them. They're durable. They're awesome. They're incredibly well made. It's great stuff. So yes, check it out. There you go.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, absolutely, man. Look, it is what it is. When somebody's making a good product, I want to make sure we boost that up. All right, let's talk about some hobby time, shall we? We are talking about it. You're making that. Sorry, I apologize. I already transitioned. You know what I'm doing. Shut up, Tom. Okay. I don't need your corrections. Talk about my hobby time. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, that was it. So I'm working on this guy. He's more or less done here in this image, not completely, but there's mostly, obviously the base isn't done. But this is the Fate Master, the new Fate Master. He'll be in a video coming out sometime. I believe that Haywo called him Patrick Baitmaster, and so that's fine. This dude rules. He's great. I would never play a list for the type of Tzeentch list that I want to play without this guy. So I painted him up immediately. I played one game, and I was like, well, this guy's in my list now and forever, so time to get this dude on the table. Let's go. It's an absolutely gorgeous model. It was super fun to paint, and I have a very long video coming out about it. So, anywho, there you go. It is still more. That's why I think I like it. It's the most Slaanesh Tzeentch model they've ever made. So, what can you say? So, at any rate, I worked on that guy, and then as well this last weekend, there's some more stuff. There's the bird and so on and so forth. As well this weekend, I also had a little bit of actual hobby time this weekend, and so I worked on some more stuff for my Hellsmiths. I got 5 more shooters done, my little 420 blasters. So there you go. So they're coming along. Looking, basically got a unit, but not the reinforced unit done. I'll finish up the rest of them here pretty soon. So yeah, very very productive hobby time for me this last week. Cygnus, the burning thighs of Tzeentch. Yes. He's showing a lot of thigh. That guy is definitely showing thigh. Absolutely. For sure. Okay. All right. With the hobby time done, let's gentlemen, why don't we just head on over to Tzeentch Town, shall we? I think we just get straight into this, right? All right. So let's talk about Tzeentch. Before I do my summary, I want to get you both of your thoughts. Okay. So, Caleb, I'm going to go to you first. You've had, quite literally a decade of experience with Tzeentch. This has been a thing you've played, in the good times and the bad, in the most cheating, brutal times, and when they were down. And you were doing very well in tournaments, basically whether the rules were sort of at their peak or otherwise, because this is just an army you knew how to play very, very well, even as the rules changed. How do you feel about this newest incarnation as a true Lord of Change yourself?
I mean, I'll be quite honest. I love it. It's the first time I felt like the Tzeentch book was truly the Tzeentch book.
Yeah.
And with all the tricks that this new book can do, the power, of course, is not as in your face as some of the older editions. You're looking at certain units back in the day, and you're like, oh yeah, that's an auto include. That's an auto include. Oh, Karos, the whole pick a battle tactic auto include. And you look at this new book, and nothing can hold its own by itself. Maybe beyond the Enlighten on disc. Everything else is relying on all the mechanics that this new book brings, and all the delusion. All of the smoke and mirrors. And it's amazing. So in terms of this new book, I love it. I'm very excited to talk about it. I'm very excited about playing it. I can't wait for Adepticon. It's gonna be great.
Yep. I literally, you can ask Brendan if you get a chance to talk to him, but I literally said, because I got one game in with this weekend. I played Tzeentch and he played New Lumineth. And we finished the game, or we got to when we had to call it. And I got to the end and I said, I don't know how Caleb is going to lose with this. That was my statement to him. So I said, when he orders the book, they should just send a redeemable ticket that is just like, this is good for one first place at a tournament. Just turn this in and you'll get your best general trophy. Yeah.
Just put the pressure on the shoulder. I appreciate it.
You got strong shoulders. You can handle it. I know. I have no doubt. I'm putting my money on the right horse here. I'm sure of it. So there you go. Tom, what about you? How you feeling about this?
I mean, it turned me into a Tzeentch believer.
Sure.
Here's the reality. This book is wild.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'll say for certain that I wrestled with is just all of the moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's just so many moving parts. And coming to terms with all of those is it's hard to wrap your it's hard to wrap your brain around of the play pattern itself.
Mm-hmm.
because the reality is that it is truly so fluid. Like there isn't and I would argue that I don't know that there is a set play pattern here. The play pattern is respond to your opponent.
Yeah.
Like the mistakes that your opponent make, like that's your game plan.
Yeah.
Blue deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is the bluest blue deck that's ever blue decked. Yes.
Yeah.
If we do the a new Timmy Johnny Spike, Tzeentch is just like it is a meteor strike. It is the meteor that ended the dinosaurs in the middle of Johnny's heart. Yes. CJ coming in with a super chat saying Disciples of Peak. Yes, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. All right. That you both set up my summary perfectly. The new Tzeentch tome is, in my estimation, one of the most interesting tomes, if not the most interesting tome they've written. Okay. And I chose the word interesting specifically because I think it is both the best written, but also the most interesting to actually like, let's build with, look at, play with, all of it.
Yeah.
It actually has like so many different interesting things to do. It is a very tricky tome. I think, Tom, what you just said, right? That it does reward like planning and understanding your army, not planning in like old style Sylvaneth where you're like, well, what I'm going to do is set up A and then do B and then do C and then do D. I mean planning in that you understand how all your pieces work, what they can do in response to what, how you're thinking during the game, how you're like, you've thought ahead 2 turns and you're like, okay, well, if they do this, then I'll get to do this and I'll swap this guy here. Literally, we told Caleb, you told a story right before we went live about, you know, some your little dorks, just the thing that nobody would care about. Oh, they dropped 19 inches away from the objective. Don't worry about it. And then all of a sudden, rocket ship 20 inches across the board. Yeah. All right. I think I love that we got this is another thing we talked about right before the show, but it incorporates a win from losing mechanic, like your classic blood tithe. Like Tzeentch has their own blood tithe and how fate points work now. I love win for losing mechanics. I think they're great.
Feel good.
They feels good and they're natural catch-up mechanics. It is the most mobile army that we've seen in the game. Not mobile in the traditional sense of like, I have very high movement values, although you do have some very high movement values. It's mobile in the sense that you have both some things that fly and go very fast, and also that you can be anywhere you want at any point in time, however you want. And no one will catch you if you don't want them to, basically. Okay. No. And this book has the highest skill floor I have seen on a book. This is the dark side, right? If everything's a slight double-edged sword, there's going to be a lot of people who roll this because they think it sounds fun and get absolutely steamrolled, just smashed, because these abilities are so complicated in their execution and how you have to like, really like think through your plans. And yes, I agree with Cygnus. The win for losing actually fits really well here because it's like, oh, that's not bad. I meant for it to happen exactly as the Lord
according to plan.
Yes, exactly.
One thing I'll mention as well, because we all play tournaments, competitively. You go to a tournament, whether you're in the bottom, middle, or top, and not only are you learning this army, your opponent might not know it at all. And so if it's a high skill floor for you to learn, imagine how hard it is for your opponent to know what you're going to do, which will completely change the way they'll play. Right. And so initially, I think for the next 6 months, it's going to be interesting kind of seeing how people react to what this new book can do and when it can react to it and how they do it. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, in short order, I mean, we'll see how it works, folks. But like one of the things many of the armies I've built with Skaven have been, and one of the reasons I've loved playing my Skaven so far in this edition has been to do lots of like tricksy movement related BS, like whether just being able to like scoot my army around, be sneaky with it, be in places they didn't expect me to be and then capitalize on that, right? And this is just like, sit down, son. Let me show you what this is. I'm going to show you what this is really all about. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Okay. let's talk about the army rules. All right, we will begin our journey here with the. Oh, I just realized I didn't shrink this out. Sorry, everybody. There we go. We'll make them bigger. Now people can see. Maybe. We're going to start with the faction rules and some battle traits. Okay, what do we got here? Well, once per battle army in the deployment phase, you get to pick up to 3 units, and you get to mask them by illusion, which means you put them into reserve. Friendly units that are masked by illusion are destroyed at the end of the 5th battle round and not the start of the 4th battle round. This is a wild change in this ability. It's so crazy. So that's pretty good. You can just have people in mask for illusion constantly until the end of the game when you need to get them out. And at that point they die, you don't care anyways. You've already won. You won a while ago, so it's irrelevant what dies. Mm-hmm. And you might think, hold on a minute, Vince. You're telling me at the start of the game, I'm going to set up my units, deploy my whole army, and I'm going to take 3 of them and just remove them from the game, just get them out completely, like just pull them into what we will call from this point on, or at least I will call from this point on, we're going to send them to the Shadow Realm. Okay, like that's it. That's what we're going to the Shadow Realm. And I will never say masked by illusion or anything like that. I will just be saying the Shadow Realm. Okay. And
Did you just say Silver Tower?
Nope. The Shadow Realm. They get banished to the Shadow Realm. We're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or whatever it is. I don't even know. One of those games that has that. So the point is that like you're pulling 3 things off, but the key is you can have a general plan about this, the 3 units you intend to take off, but depending on how they deploy, depending on what happens, yeah, you could just change that. It's suddenly the unit that they thought they were lining up with. Nope, not anymore. And completely doesn't matter how many drops you are, you're always getting to know, and just you'll be able to reshuffle however you want. Okay. So David asked a question of how does that work with the battle tactic, the treasure thing? Yeah, it's very complicated, unfortunately. So if you're carrying the little treasures, the battle tactic that makes you carry the little treasures around, or the little cheeseburgers as I call them, because everything has to have a funny name. So if you're carrying your little cheeseburgers, you have to, when you pull the unit off the board, due to the FAQ, that's what answered this, you have to assign the little burger to another unit within 3 inches. And if you can't, then it automatically gets claimed by your opponent. So be very thoughtful about where you put your little coins or burgers or treasures or whatever, is what I'll say. Okay. Then we get to the ability that is going to, I think, define the army in a big way for this edition. Smoke and Mirrors. Once per turn army, any hero phase. You might think, Vince, is that only in my hero phase? No. I want you to remember going forward that this is any hero phase. Meaning the enemies too. That's what that would mean. Okay, great. Declare, pick a friendly non-monster Disciples of Tzeentch unit that has not been set up using this ability in the previous turn to be the target. Then pick a friendly unit that is masked by illusion to be the substitute. Set up the substitute unit wholly within 6 of the target and not in combat. Then remove the target from the battlefield and set it up in reserve, masked by illusion. So, I'll give you an easy example. I had some Skyfires in the game that I played. I like Skyfires. I think they're fun. And there was I was playing against Lumineth, and the big Cow Mountain is clearly going to come that direction. He's clearly going to try to march over and kill my Skyfires. And I don't want to get hit by the giant hammer. So in his hero phase, I said, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and use this ability. We're going to swap out these 6 Skyfires for this single Fate Master. So he's going to be 6 inches farther back. Now there's no, so already the cow was never going to get to him because he's another 6 inches away, effectively. And then I said, okay. So that happened. And then I said, okay, I'd like to use, I had unbound one of his spells, so I got to Magical Intervention for free. We'll talk about that in a moment. You'll see how that happens. And then I cast the spell that lets me put somebody into the Shadow Realm, and I just put the Fate Master back in the Shadow Realm. And I was like, okay, well, continue with your turn. Thing that you thought was going to happen will now be nothing. Instead of going after my troops, you will get nothing. I said good day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like the most baseline play with this ability. We're not even into like the actual good tricks yet. So, yeah. I mean, Caleb, thoughts on smoke and mirrors? Obviously, this ability is insane, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when we go over, each unit, there's so many times you can use smoke and mirrors, even on turn one, to get up to like 6 cast on your opponent. There's just so much you can do with smoke and mirrors. Defensively, offensively, it is such a powerful mechanic. And we'll get into the use cases as we go over the units, but you can just see the use case on the table. Just think about this. Somebody charges you on your turn. They almost kill your whore block. You're down to 2 models. You reinforced it. And all of a sudden now your whores are back up in the realm. Your 20 block of Zangors are now 3 inches from them. It's now your turn. Like, come on. Then you put your whores back down. You rally them. Like, come on.
Yep.
Like, that's basic level. It's crazy.
Yep.
So we'll get into it.
Exactly.
Sounds
right.
like fun to me.
Yeah. It's just like, I agree. Like Catharsis said, this alone is one of the best battle traits, and there is so much more. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what's crazy, right? Like this alone would be most people's battle trait, and yet we're not done yet. Okay. Your next battle trait is just Silver Simulacrum. It's how you set up the second part of your Argent Shards. We'll talk about the shards. They're great. They're a good faction terrain piece. They're amazing because they actually do the thing that you want faction terrain to do, which is be okay with dying and be really useful at the same time. So A+ on that. This is just how you get the other tower out, because you set up one as part of the blah, blah, blah. You know how when you have multi pieces of terrain, that's how it works. Okay. Then we come to fate points. Oh boy. Oh boy. So no more fate dice. Those are gone. And instead now we have our fate points. And you gain a fate point each time something turns against you, is the easiest way to say it, right? Like anytime a bad thing happens of sorts. So you lose a priority roll. A spell cast by a friendly Disciples of Tzeentch unit is unbound. A friendly Disciples of Tzeentch unit miscasts a spell. Your opponent gains control of an objective that you controlled at the start of the turn, or a friendly Argent Shard is destroyed. Okay. Now, there are obviously a few other ways to gain fate points. We'll talk about them in the units, but there you go. This is your base ways to gain them. Over the course of the game I played, as I said, I think I got 8 fate points. And I think you said, what's the number you've been hitting in your games there, Caleb?
So the minimum I've received so far, I played 5 games, is 18 is the minimum. The most is 24 so far.
Yeah.
So right now it's pretty crazy if you build into it.
Yep. And you might say, well, Vince, what can I do with these fate points? What grand delights await me as a player of Tzeentch? Well, you can do some amazing things. Destined to Serve. You can burn a fate point and negate a point of damage. Okay. That's pretty cool. Need to keep your mega chicken alive? Well, he probably will stay alive if you have enough fate points. That's for sure. That's pretty much where that's going most of the time. Although it can be obviously have other purposes. Need to hold an objective, need to do 10, 20 things, right? Destined Arcana. You declared a spell ability for a Tzeentch unit. You can spend any number of fate points. For each fate point you spend, you add 1 to the casting roll for that spell. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Ironically, this is the one I didn't use at all. I just I had Kairos and other sorts of things. I really didn't need it or care. It just never came up. But it's very good. It's obviously super strong. And then finally, Destined for Battle reaction. You declared a charge ability for a Disciples of Tzeentch unit in your turn, used by the unit using that charge ability. Effect: spend any number of fate points. For each fate point you spend, add 1 to the charge roll. Caleb, would you like to talk about the timing on something like these reactions and how they work?
Yeah, I mean, for starters, it's after you rolled. I mean, do I really need to say any more? I mean, it's you take all your I rolled double ones on my charge. I really need to get this in. I will spend 1.
Yep.
Right. This spell is going to kill your character. I missed it by 1. I will spend 1.
That's right. Yep.
Right. It is so forgiving. Karos, he's, I mean, I told you this at the, earlier, it's turn 5, I have 20 fate points. I already took my turn. You're about to go. You need to kill Karos. You need to kill my unit. I just absorbed 20 damage. by reducing my damage by 20, I win.
Right.
You know, so it's just the timing is just insane. The fact that, you know, currently before FAQs or anything that might happen, you know,
Sure.
right now it's pretty great. You know.
Yep. Do you hate the tension of rolling 9-inch charges because you've dropped and had to be 9 inches away? Well, worry not, because this book says 9-inch charges are automatic. That is not going to be an issue you're going to run into. You want to get in,
Ever.
you're in.
Ever.
That's awesome.
I was charging into Lumineth with my big block of like 20 Zangor, and he had up the neg-2 to charge rolls
Yep.
spell.
And you're just
or
like, that's
rune
two
or
fate
whatever.
points.
And I was like, no issue. We got this. And it's just like in. That was the hardest counter to an ability I've ever seen in my life. So there you go. Okay. So these are very powerful. All right. So then we got our battle formations. And there's actually a couple here that are pretty good, I will say. I've got one that's my particular favorite, but there's some pretty fun ones here. So first, Fated Blades. Effect: if you make a charge roll of 9+ for a friendly Disciples of Tzeentch unit, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of that unit's melee weapons for the rest of the turn. Tom, what word is missing from this ability?
A cap.
No.
Unmodified.
There it is.
Unmodified. Yeah, sorry.
Unmodified. That is what's missing. Yup. Well, I feel like you're going to have 9-ups anytime you want it. So there you go. Do you like Zangor with 4 attacks base? I do.
Mhm.
Or Enlightened with 1 million, like on disc, whatever. Yeah, sure. Yes. Enlightened on disc are like really good too. Like that's just another thing. I'm just going to pre-review that and say they're good when we get to them. Really good unit. So, so that's good. That's strong. Okay. I like so far. Malevolent Schemers. Once per turn, army, start of any turn, pick a unit, friendly or enemy, to be the target. Effect: if the target is destroyed this turn, gain 1 fate point. This is also really good. It sounds stupid, but
I'm
it's
assuming that's your favorite, Caleb.
No, I mean, I'll be honest, I like the one we haven't gone over yet, but I've played this one. This is when I got the max points.
Yeah.
You know, it's because of the recursion, which we'll go over later, you know, getting your units back. You can just throw units away if you want to do some damage, to let the unit die, you know, and there's other ways of gaining more fate points on top of that. Plus, you know when your opponent's going into you, what they're going to kill. And so you're like, hey, I'm just going to get a free fate point. You know, it's almost, we didn't really talk about it earlier, but as bad things are happening to you in the past, it was bad. You felt bad about it. You were upset about it. And now when bad things, like I every time I played, I'm like, I hope I lose the priority roll. I hope I lose the priority roll. And even if they win, psychologically, they lost. Right. So it just makes me happy no matter what happens. Right. And so I miss Cass. I'm just excited. I'm like, I miss Cass. You know,
exactly.
I'm pumped, you know, so no, that is definitely a great lore, you know, because it happens in both your turn, their turn. You're picking whatever you want.
Yep.
It's an awesome way to generate.
I lost the priority, got doubled, and he was like, oh, well, I'm definitely gonna do a lot of damage. And I was like, okay. And then I just like shadow roamed around and did everything I could. And the only things he got at it on the double were like a chaos spawn.
Mm-hmm. It's free.
And I was like, well, there we go. That's I feel like we made the most out of that. Like, I'm up fate. This is great. This is good times. Okay.
Yep.
The Denizens of the Silver Towers. Each time a friendly Disciples of Tzeentch unit uses an ability that requires you to spend 1 or more fate points after that ability has been resolved, roll a die. On a 4+, you gain 1 fate point. If you remove 1 or more damage points from the damage pool, after the damage sequence of that unit has been resolved, roll a die. On a 4, you gain 1 fate point. Okay. This is the one I like the least because it's like a fate point thing, and I think the other ability we just talked about is a better way to get fate points than this one. It's just what it comes down to.
It's still fun though. I mean, I'll be honest, if I'm playing a fun game, you have a 75% chance to negate 1 damage every round. You know, for, you know, every time you use it. It's just like, it's still fun. If you get lucky, you're just gaining fate points. You're like, hey, I'll reduce my damage. I got the point back and I got another point. I'm up 2.
Right.
You know, so if you get lucky, you can actually generate a lot, but it's unlikely, but it's still fun.
Yep. I agree. I just it's the one that's actually the least appealing to me because we're getting to my favorite, mutants and mad things. Oh boy, does this allow some timing shenanigans. Once per turn army, your movement phase. They can't all be any movement phase, I guess, but that's okay. We still like it anyways. Pick a friendly unit that has been masked by illusion to be the target. Set up the target wholly within 6 inches of the battlefield edge and more than 9 inches from all enemy units. This is in your movement phase. So if in your hero phase you use any of these sundry abilities that you may have to pull somebody into the Shadow Realm, then in your movement phase they can just walk right back out somewhere else on the board. If they happen to be, I don't know, like, let's say some Zangor Skyfires. Who cares that you walked back out on a board edge? You still can resolve target resolution on most anything you want. So unless they are literally just living their entire army and obscuring, in which case they're losing already, that's pretty great. You can also have casters pop out, target people with spells. There's just a million uses for this. This ability is great. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Caleb.
No, it's personally my favorite as well out of the 4. I mean, just the fact that if we look at the realm itself, how do you get out of the realm without swapping? And if your opponent's, you know, good at the point of killing all your units, all your, you know, non-monsters, you're not leaving the realm.
Right.
You're stuck, and then your stuff's dead and you lose. So this ability will let you continue to interact and really spread out the board, allowing you to teleport different units, and it just opens up another layer, like you mentioned, you know. And you know, as we go over the units, you'll see many use cases for this specific ability. You know, I call it a family, my specific family, you know, and so we'll go over it soon.
Yep. Somebody asked in the chat, if you want to play Tzeentch, how important are Chaos Spawn and how many do you need? I would argue in this book, yes, 2. 2 is the right number. Yep, we are simpatico. I think you have to have 2 Chaos Spawn in your list. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. I could see the argument. Well, we'll talk about it in a second. Like when we get to spells, I'll talk about why I could see the argument for 3 if you're in a certain lore, but 2 is minimum. Yeah. All right. Heroic traits. Kind of my least favorite thing in this book, honestly. So I'm just going to ask you, like, Caleb, what have you played with all these? Do any of these jump out at you? I mean, I assume you're using the Silver Summoner for recursion.
None of them are really like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing in the world. But if you build your list to, you know, impact the Silver Summoner, then it's, you know, definitely easy. And the fact that it doesn't exclude heroes, it's kind of crazy. You're right at this point. So FAQ before whatever happens, you know, you take the Curseling, you take the Magisters, you know, they're coming back to life. You take your Acolytes that are, you know, they're amazing. You know, once we go over their War Scroll, you know, half of them come back. And, you know, if you take Demons in the Lord of Change and half of those are coming back. So it really opens up everything. You know, so it's not only demons are coming back, this alone allows you to bring, you know, everything that's not Warflux, and none of your Zangors or Enlightened or Skyfires, basically all your more stuff, you know. So it's definitely the one that calls out to me. You know, the other ones that they're just nothing's, you know, screaming at me, you know, not with this trait.
Yeah. I mean, I do think this will be FAQ to be non-hero. It almost has to be. I cannot imagine that's going to stick. And like, you're right. Cause like right now it's wild that you can just like take your Magister and walk him back on the table or whatever. It's like, wow. Okay. Yep. That's a good use of a command point, I suppose. But I do think that'll be
I was thinking a Gaunt Summoner.
Sure.
Because
I mean,
if a new Gaunt Summoner actually lets you do the objective, that's my objective, twice in the game off of one model.
The options are myriad. I honestly just can't ever like, I think the Gaunt Summoner is so good, I just can't fit him into a list. That's my problem with him. Given his points. He's just like, I like the guy. I really do. But he's expensive.
Agreed.
Yep.
Okay. Great. All right. I did play around with Grand Illusionist. I don't hate it. It sounds small. Like if this unit was set up this turn, it can move D3 inches. That move cannot pass or end within the combat range of an enemy unit. It's in any hero phase. I do enjoy it, again, because I was playing with Lore of Change, what we'll talk about in a moment. So I actually had like 2 different kinds of options, both the normal Mirror Realm ability and the spell to be setting people up. in the hero phase, and I found it actually quite useful to be able to drop people, set them up far away and then walk them some distance. It's a very minor ability, but I found it valuable.
Are you picking which one of the two lores when you build your list? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Spell lords, yeah.
Yeah. And then devolving aura, I'm like, okay, it's fine. Great. It's whatever. Control score things are generally like whatever, and control score things where you have to be close and then roll a die to make them do anything are probably a pass for me. All right, artifacts. So we've got Fate Slicer effect at the end of any turn. You gain a fate point if any models were slain by this unit. Okay. I will point out it doesn't say they had to be killed in any specific way. Just had to kill a model, and there are many models in this army that are more than capable of, I don't know, let's say killing people with magic. So,
yeah. This is the one that I pretty much took in all my lists. I know the tome is very good, but if you're trying to generate fate points, especially if you take Karos, kind of jump ahead. Karos has an ability of, once per battle round, letting somebody cast a spell automatically on a 9. So you wait till your opponent's turn, and it's unmodified, so it doesn't suffer the -1 in your opponent's turn. And so you put it like on a Magister, and you say, hey, it goes off on a 9. I'm doing a bunch of damage to your unit over there through the shards on your turn.
Yep.
And then you're like, fate point every time. So that's 5 fate points, right there. Just with that simple mechanic with this end of turn ability. So it's awesome.
Yeah. To me, I don't care about honestly, the Cloaked in Weird Flame is like actually a very good buff. Like -1 to be wounded is like a really good defensive buff. It's one of the best defensive buffs in the game. And it's so funny because all 3 of these artifacts are good. So to be clear, right? The fate point one is great, but I'm a fan of the Carrick Tome. I love the add or subtract, like the fact that you can just you can do it to more than once per phase, but only once per spell ability. That's just like really strong for having some little dork in the middle who's just like +1, -1. Like I can unbind that. Now you unbind your own spell on a thing I don't care, and then you cast the thing we need to cast better. And it's just like, yeah, your little cheerleader basically in the middle is nice. So.
I think most people will pick this one, because it's very, very strong. And when people look at the Magister's ability of being able to dispel your own spell, you're like, hey, I rolled a 7, I'm going to bring it down to a 6, and now I rolled above it. Now I'm also +1 to cast, with his mechanic when we go over it, and they give a fate point for doing it. So it's going to be the one you probably see the most, unless you're trying to build into fate points itself.
Right.
But yeah.
This is 3 good artifacts. I'm legitimately shocked. This is just like, okay, guys, we did it. We got there. Should we unfurl some kind of mission accomplished banner? We have a book that has 3 valid choices. What is happening? It's crazy.
And the good thing, the cloak, it's not against shooting or combat, it's against both.
Right. It's just -1 to wound rolls. It's crazy good.
Yeah. Put on Lord of Change, -1 to hit and wound.
Yep.
Cast a spell on him. He's -2 to hit. So very good.
It's real good. Because I found I love Kairos, but the problem is that dumb bird is so squishy. I had to be so careful with him because he can't go in the Shadow Realm. He's too big to fit through the door, obviously. So you can just poke his head in. How's everybody doing in there? Anybody need snacks? All right, well, we'll see what we can do. But yeah, any kind of ranged firepower was really scary to my poor little bird. He never died or anything, but he quickly made sure that the offending unit had a new friend amongst their ranks. But nonetheless, there you go. Okay. Speaking of spell lores, let's talk about spell lores. I'm gonna this is my take on it. These are both very good spell lores. You want the summary? There's the summary. They're both good. And it's going to be a question of how you built your army as to which one you ultimately want to take. Your Lore of Fate gives you Infernal Gateway as an unlimited spell. It's an 18-inch range attack spell. Normally, I don't like 18-inch range attack spells as your unlimited spell. but I like it when it's this one. Effect: roll either 5 dice or a number of dice equal to the number of fate points you have.
That's pretty good.
What?
That's crazy.
How many fate points you say you were up at the end of the game?
The most was 24, and that was definitely there's nothing's like rolling 24 dice and hey, I rolled average, take 12.
Yeah.
Whoosh. The only saving grace to these new spells, which I believe LRL has the same mechanic, is you can't target the same unit more than once. Right, so you're not machine gunning anyone down, but you're also spreading the love.
That is your unlimited spell, so you can cast it multiple times.
You're spreading love. And by the way, my brother just told me my mom is watching, so hi, Mom. What is that?
Hello, Caleb's mom. Hello. All right. Yeah, I mean, this spell is so freaking crazy. Like, it's wild. If you're building into fate points. So, like, and that's the thing you got to think about. Like, am I building you can do, like, a more Shadow Realm build, you can do a more fate point focus build, or you can do a mix of the two. Okay? And if you're leaning heavy into the fate side, okay. Well.
Mm-hmm.
We know your build.
And it's going to stack because what happens in a game, like they know if you dispel a spell, you're going to get a fate point. So they don't want that to happen. But once you're at like 10 fate points, they also can't lose their character.
Right.
So they have to dispel. And then you're just like, oh, you spell, cool, no problem, fate point.
Right.
And you throw the next one out. Would you like that character to die? Fate point. Oh, this one goes off into 12. You can't stop it. And I have 12 dice, 6 mortal wounds.
Yep. And
so once you're up there, it becomes a situation where your opponent just can't let it go. You know, and so.
Yes, Infernal Gateway is full wackadoo. I love that when they baselined it, they were like 5 or like the fate points, but that's going to be a really high bar for them to get at, right? There's no way they're like, that'll be tough. Okay. To be clear, when I said like I had 8 fate points in round 2, and I was in the pure mirror build. Like I had no fate point accumulators whatsoever. I was running off the base chart only. Okay. And so yeah, there you go. So very doable. And then your other 2 spells, Weird Flame Haze. You pick a spell until the start of your next turn. Friendly Disciples of Tzeentch units are not visible to enemy units more than 12 inches from them, while those friendly units are wholly within 12 inches of a friendly Disciples of Tzeentch unit that was set up at the same turn. So hence you can cast this, and then as you play with the Mirror Realm and or anything else, you just make all your units invisible. It's just you're immune to shooting that's farther than it's not within 12 inches.
Yes. Yeah. That's just crazy. Yeah. Can't see my birds. Sorry.
Yep. It's pretty good. How do you we'll get into it, Beardo. Don't worry. We'll get into it. We'll talk about how you get to the maximum fate. I mean, if you use the sacrifice play we just talked about with the battle formation, and you have the fate building artifact, right there you're going to get a ton. Just like an absolute ton, just because that's just guaranteed. Then from there, you can actually get a ton just by like sending out the cheap units that you said were gonna die. You send them out to die and also take objectives with them, and then let the opponent kill them. Now it's like, okay, the fate points are just like ding 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 ding, just rolling in, just rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, and then finally, Shield of Fate. Pick a friendly wizard, then you pick another unit within 12, a friendly unit. Till the start of your next turn, you get a ward of 5 up and -1 to be hit. So there you go. That's the other defensive spell. It's fine.
And this is more of a question I have, because I haven't seen any rules on it. You know, so if we look at timing of this, you know, can I put all my buffs on a model, suck them up into the realm and keep the buffs, and then deploy them? I'm wondering.
As far as I know, yes, they carry the thing.
Is there
with
a rule
them.
that stops?
Like it's not like a different unit.
No, it's the same unit. I didn't know if there's any rule that I'm just, not thinking of, or any FAQs say, hey, if you go off the table, you lose all buffs.
Right. Yeah, like it's like Magic. If you go into exile and you've got counters on you, right, you're gonna lose those counters when you come back into play because you're a new version of the card.
I don't think there is.
We don't have that same rule. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Very powerful spell. Probably one of the most important one when you talk about Zangors that don't have any, protection from hitting, and they don't have any ward saves, and all of a sudden you have, 20 Zangors with a 5 up, -1 to hit. Very strong.
Yep. It is a massive survivability swing.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Lore of Fate, pretty good. The Lore of Change. Now, happily, by the way, as we'll talk about later on, this is kind of a little taco girl situation where you can be like, why not both? You don't have to actually completely pick. We'll talk about it when we get later on. But the Lore of Change, I really do love the Lore of Change. This is my lore right here. It doesn't have the like raw power of the Lore of Fate, but it has a lot of really sneaky, ridiculous tricks that I love. So first of all, we got Bolt of Tzeentch. Pretty classic unlimited damage spell. It's D3 mortals and they're -1 to wound. Again, one of the best debuffs around. Very hard to get out from under. Good survivability. I like it. And it's just -1 to all of their, just like we said before, it's -1 to wound on all attacks, not ranged or melee. It's just period. So, okay, perfectly fine. I will say in this army in general, I mind 18-inch damage spells less because you have Argent Shards. And that just means you're always within 18 inches of somebody. Then we have Fold Reality on a 6. What a steal. What an absolute steal this ability is. So you pick a friendly Disciples of Tzeentch wizard to cast this spell. You pick a friendly non-monster Disciples of Tzeentch unit wholly within 12 of the caster and set it in reserve, masked by illusion. Then you pick a friendly unit that is masked by illusion and set it up wholly within 12 of the caster and more than 9 from all enemy units. So, and you, designer's note, both parts of the effect are optional. You can carry out either part or both. You want to just stick somebody up in the Shadow Realm? Do that part. You want to bring somebody out? Do that part. You want to swip swap? Do both. Versatility. You'll love to see it.
Yeah. There's so much synergy with this spell and the next spell, with, of course, Smoke and Mirrors. I mean, you know, if you want to go over the, it's just it's crazy where you can put all the buffs on a unit, you know, then suck them up from this spell into the realm. Next spell, you're casting a spawn on their through the shards on their archer unit. That's like, you know, huge archer block with cannons behind it. You do 1 mortal wound to the archers, and you put a spawn within 3 inches of the edge. Then you do Smoke and Mirrors with the unit you just brought up, the Zangors that are fully buffed up with a 5-up board save. Place it wholly within 6 inches of all of them, you know, but 3 inches away from those archers, and you go, are you ready?
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, there's so many combos, you know, with this alone. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yes. That's, oh my God, exactly. Like it's so versatile. Shout out to just some dude with the super chat. Hey Vince, I feel like I have become stagnant in painting skill. The painted models I do aren't bad, but are okay. I want to get better when painting the big models, but don't want to mess up when trying new methods. Any advice? Yes. My best advice is, I've got twofold things for you here to say. Just some dude. One, don't worry. Everybody hits plateaus. There's nothing unusual about that. So you're experiencing what I and literally everybody else who's pushed themselves in painting has felt. 2, remember that you can't mess up. There is no such thing as a mistake. Like, that doesn't exist because you can just put more paint on it. No brush stroke is your last. No application. You will never need to strip a model. You can just paint over it. So my best advice is you're going to unlock those next levels when you do just try that new technique, and you'll fail. Like the third piece of advice here is accept that you will screw it up, and that's okay. You'll learn something, and that is advancement. You'll fail to some degree, or it won't be exactly what you want, but you'll learn from it and you'll do it again and you'll be better. And then you'll do it a third time and you'll nail it or whatever. Right. And, you know, in doing so, you might have to like try something 2 or 3 times. You might have to correct something. You might have to put a little more paint on than you wanted, but that's it. So there's no fear here. There's no mistakes. Okay. There's only learning. That's my best advice. But by experimenting in that way, that's how you'll crack that plateau and hit the next level. All right. And then lastly, yes, transformed into spawn. It's an 18-inch spell. You pick an enemy unit. You inflict D3 mortal damage. If anybody dies, then you can pull a chaos spawn unit that is currently masked by illusion, set it up on the battlefield in combat with the target and not in combat with any other enemy units.
Combos unlocked.
Yep. Combo breaker. Like this guy, this is so good. Like on its face, it's an obviously good spell, right? Just the ability to like lock a unit up considering absolutely nothing else, observing this in the void, this is a great spell. With the other tools that are in the book, this spell is insane. Okay. Insane. David Canty, honestly, does this cross over into a negative play experience for your opponent at a certain point? Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like this,
maybe.
it's a super Johnny book, and that's what super Johnny books do. Like,
yeah.
I think that's just part and parcel. I really do.
Yeah,
think,
one of the
yes.
good things that they did with this spell, though, is they made it to where I can't put a spawn within all of your units.
Right.
Right. Back in the day, you know, our last book, you can just put it in between everything and say, okay, none of your stuff can move. Now they make it to where it's only one unit. So a little bit of quality of life there. But it's definitely a book that will be a negative play experience because it's a book that's uncommon, like unlike anything else. It's not straightforward, you know, and so there's going to be experiences. If you don't know what this does, it's going to catch you off guard. And that's why we're discussing it today, so you're never caught off guard.
Yep. I am concerned about that, Demander Tame. Like, yes, 100%. Like, this is a very Johnny book. There are going to be some people that just straight up hate playing this book, right? I mean, I can't imagine playing my Iron Jaws against this book. I do not know what I would do against this army other than die. Like, that would be the least interactive game I have ever played from what I'm trying to accomplish with my army. The very unfortunate reality here with this is that this is an extremely well-designed, very Johnny, very in-theme, incredible verisimilitude, very high skill floor, incredibly high skill ceiling book that will respond to player skill like few other books will. It's one of the best designed and most interesting books in the edition so far. And what it lays bare is the bankruptcy of our design process with the new edition, because the early books pale. They are mere shadows. Like, they are the ideas of a book. They are shadows cast upon a cave wall at best. This is the real reality. Okay, that's simply what it comes down to. So, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if the
So
other
you're saying
books,
all the rest of the book should be like this one.
yes, like there's no reason you couldn't write an Iron Jaws book that would be this interesting and is dead center in Timmy land. That's fully possible.
Yep.
Okay, but they just didn't.
Right.
Because they didn't have the system mastery yet to actually execute on that because of the release cycle. But I'm not trying to make this a negative show. But yes, I think that it is possible. So anyways, Lore of Change is my lore. We'll do the LRL book next week, Darcha. Don't worry. We're going to just Tzeentch, then LRL. We will do both. So anyways, okay, there you go. Great stuff. And then your manifestations, there are 5 for the tome, 6 for the burning sigil, and 7 for the simulacrum. We'll talk about them when we get to the Warscrolls. So we don't need to really do that. I think this is a very good manifestation lore. I think it'll be taken a lot. I tried it with Morbid and like that experience as well, just as a baseline. Like Purple Sun and Gravetide and all that, still pretty good. So there you go. You give this book to a first day of the edition index player and they die like a Victorian child.
People will die because everyone's armor save in here is like a 5-up.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You know, and there's like one wound on a 5-up, you know, and it's all fluff. So a Gargant, like I can have all the tricks in the world, I can teleport everywhere, but if a Gargant sits on a base, he wins the game if I can't move him.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, that's what, you know, until we get to the units, that was definitely my concern when I was reading. I was like, okay, this is really cool. It does all this cool stuff, but what do the units do?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can I kill anything?
Can I kill anything? Exactly.
Right. Okay. So, well, what a great question. Let's go to Warscrolls, shall we? Okay, we'll need to move a little bit quicker here because we spent a lot of time on that, but that's all right. We can go through the Warscrolls relatively quickly. All right. First off, Kairos Fateweaver. I don't have my points in front of me. I apologize, everyone. Kairos is 400 points. Yeah. I don't know if you have the points in front of you, Caleb. If so, I'll double check with you. I forgot to bring up my points document. But anyways,
I do have them up.
Okay.
Kairos is 400.
Very good. He's great and worth it. He's very, very good. His attacks or whatever, he's 16 health and a 5-up, 5-up. He is very fragile, but he is a wizard 3. Normally, I don't talk about battle damaged because I don't care about battle damaged, but I care about... I put this guy on the table. He got shot by a bunch of sentinels. Okay. And he got 9 damage on him. And I was like, oh, when does his battle damage trigger? Oh, it triggers at 10. What is it? What happens? I probably lose some like Staff of Tomorrow attacks or something,
Mhm.
right? And I looked and I was like, a power level. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rally time, baby. Let's go.
First time they've ever done this. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, he doesn't lose attacks. He loses a power level when he's at 10 or more damage.
Wow.
So there you go. He has the Master of Destiny. If this unit has not already engineered the outcome this battle round, instead of making a casting roll, an unbinding roll, a banishment roll, a hit roll, a wound roll, or a save roll for a visible friendly Disciples of Tzeentch unit wholly within 12 of this unit can engineer the outcome. If the roll would have been a d6 roll, you can use a value of 6 that cannot be modified. If the roll would have been a 2d6, you can use a value of 9. Yep. Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's your destiny dice. The destiny dice are back, and instead of having 9, you have 10 because there's 5 battle rounds, and you can do a 2d6 every battle round. So you have 10 destiny dice with him.
Yep. That's
and
right.
They're all 9s.
They're all 9s. Need to for sure unbind that spell? Not a problem. We got this.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
This is great. Obviously a great ability. He still has his Mastery of Magic where he flips the low d6 to match the high d6. So if you roll like a 5 and a 2 on your cast, it's actually a 10 because it's a 5 and a 5. But wait, it's not a 10. No. Because he's also got Beacon of Sorcery still. So add 1 to casting rolls and unbinding rolls for friendly Disciples of Tzeentch wizards while they're wholly within 12 of this unit, himself included. Obviously, it's his classic ability. Very good. In addition, my favorite 2 words in Age of Sigmar. If a friendly Disciples of Tzeentch wizard wholly within 12 of this unit unbinds a spell, including him, no command points are spent for that wizard to use magical intervention in that phase. It's a great day. Okay. You definitely shoot at the bird. Yes. If you can, I think what scares me with this army is something like KO, honestly. Because they can shoot at the bird real aggressively, as well as everything else. But that's a great ability.
Until you cast that spell on a 9 and you're too far back where they can't dispel it, and now everything's invisible because you're out of range of their dispelling, and now they can't see you. Guaranteed. A 9 because you're wholly within 12 of Kairos.
There you go. That's true. You got to play very Lore of Fate very good if you're playing against somebody like KO. Absolutely. Or other thing we'll talk about later. Okay. And then finally, he's got his Fateful Reverse. It's a cast on an 8 up. Pick a visible enemy unit with an 18. Till the start of your next turn, if the target charged, this is an enemy unit target. This is kind of a weird spell to explain, but you're picking an enemy unit with an 18. And then until the start of your next turn, if the target charged in the same turn, friendly Disciples of Tzeentch units in combat with that target have strike first. So effectively, you're not giving them strike last. You're giving all of your units that fight them strike first. So it's kind of like, it's a little, whatever, sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And then the target's weapons cannot be affected by the charge +1 damage weapon special ability. Okay. Sure. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. The regular Lord of Change, 14 health instead of 16, still 5 up, 5 up, still Wizard 3.
New Wizard 3.
Yes. New Wizard 3. That's what I meant. I was comparing him to Kairos. Yes, still also a Wizard 3. That's what I should have said. But he does still blah, blah, blah battle damage. It does take 10 at least, but that's nice. Yes, he'll go down to power level 2 when he's got 4 health left. He has your demon callback on a command point now as opposed to on a 4 up. So just like all the greater demons, the unnamed greater demons, they all have that ability now. It's the same as all the rest of them. You get half the unit back. So it's fine. He has the Locus of Impossibility, where you add 1 to casting rolls for this unit. In addition, you subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target friendly Disciples of Tzeentch demon units while they're wholly within 12 of him. So very good. Himself included, obviously. And both, again, ranged and melee, so very good. And then his spell is Temporal Manipulation. You can pick another visible friendly Disciples of Tzeentch unit that was not set up this turn within 18 inches. The target can use the normal move ability as if it were your movement phase, but it must end that move closer to this unit. I love when they put that kind of a jokey restriction on things because that is a hilarious restriction. You can move in basically any direction you want and still end up closer to this guy. Like,
No. This is the spell that actually kind of breaks a lot of things, though, because if you play geometry and you take Karos, you make him perfectly 8.1 inches behind him. You cast a spell turn 1. Now he's in a position where he can actually cast all 3 of his spells on your opponent just with that spell alone on turn 1. And then you're casting another spell through the shards, and you haven't even done Smoke and Mirrors yet.
Yep.
Right? Or you take a 14 move Screamer block, you move them up 14 inches, then you Smoke and Mirror something wholly within 6, and now you're turn 1 charging. Great spell.
Yep. Regular chickens got play. I have not tried. Have you tried? I assume you've tried the double chicken list already.
I've done both chickens, yeah.
Okay.
That's where I got the most points.
Gotcha. So how did you feel about, because the regular chicken is what? He's 430? Is that
400. Well, no, this guy, I think he's 380. He's 380. And then Karos is 400. They're definitely expensive, but when you know that you're going to keep them alive from shooting from the spells, and you have all this movement shenanigans to move, and we haven't talked about the Changeling yet, you definitely are running into an issue where so many of your points are in 2 models that can die to anything.
Sure.
Or you have to figure out a way to protect them all, and that's kind of, I guess, list building. But they're definitely great. They're a lot of power because you're talking about 6 spells.
Yep.
Right, and Lord of Change can be +2, 1 from Karos, 1 from himself. Karos is matching lowest to the highest. You're getting off your spells if you want.
Yep.
And your opponent does want to stop them because they are strong.
Yeah, because there's going to be some Bernie pain coming out of there. Some actual hurdy Bernies. That's no good. Yep. And obviously, I'm not talking about either of the chicken's attacks because that should not be happening. I mean, I guess you'll throw some Storm of Weird. No, his little range attack is fine, but I'm just saying you're I think in general, until you're trying to clean stuff up at the end of the game, you're hoping not to have to use Eldritch weapons most of the time.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to. I mean, but in the past, you had to pick your weapon. You want the shooting or baleful sword. You got both. Right. This, now you have and his close combat attacks can get all the way up to 18 wounds. So it's pretty good.
Yep. It's just you don't. In general, he's not a fighty guy. Your chicken should be avoiding combat as much as possible to prolong his life.
Absolutely.
Okay. I actually do have 2 chickens. I haven't run the double chicken list yet, but I do own multiple. Somehow, I love greater demons. I really do. I have like 7 or 8 now keepers. I have 6 bloodthirsters. I've got all the wrong numbers apparently. I need to just align these better. And I've got 2 chickens. No great unclean ones. 0. So I don't know. There you go.
Feels like you're missing out.
I am, clearly.
Need to fix that.
All right. Let's talk about this little Chad right here. This absolute hoss. Okay. Mr. showing up in every list I'm going to build now until the end of time. The Changeling. First of all, I've always loved this model. Like full shout out. This is like the height of Tzeentch model design. Whoever sculpted this when he was part of like the second Tzeentch release some years back, and I just think this is like one of the best models they've ever done. At any rate, 5 up, 6 health, blah blah blah. He has attacks. Who cares? Okay. Puckish Misdirection. While they're wholly within 12 inches of this unit, friendly Disciples of Tzeentch units can use the redeploy command even if they were set up in the same turn. This is a very useful thing. Because you can drop, as I mentioned, in many of the various and sundry ways we've already discussed, and then redeploy as well. So you could, like, in the enemy turn, obviously. So theoretically, you're setting up with your coming from the Shadow Realm ability. You're 6 inches off of wherever you set up, and then you could redeploy again another D6 inches, and that's pretty great. So that's cool. But his next ability here is what I truly love. Arch Deceiver. So this guy is a wizard too, by the way. This unit can only use this ability if it is masked by illusion. You pick a model in a friendly Disciples of Tzeentch unit to be the target. Just some model. That guy. Yes. That particular guy. A Screamer was a popular choice for me. This unit can immediately use a spell ability. When it does so, measure the range and visibility of that spell ability from the target. The target is treated as the caster for the purposes of other abilities, such as Unbind. Uh-huh. Cool. Cool. Pretty cool. I love that he can do it when he's masked by illusion. He's an easy guy to pull into Shadow Realm. Still can throw the Inferno out. Still can just like randomly fold reality from not even on the board. Like, it's so crazy. You're getting a fold reality on a random unit anywhere on the board, and he himself could pop out at a target. Like, he could pull himself out doing it, or get rid of them completely. Like, it's crazy, the interactions with this. It's so good.
I found myself casting one spell on the table, like a sigil or a simulacrum or whatever, and then going into the realm, replacing it with a spawn that's 6 inches closer to have another turn 1 cast with him as well, on top of Karos, on top of the shards.
Yep.
On top of the book that we haven't gone over.
Yep. You just, your ability to reach outside, you know, I think this army used to be really known as like the 18-inch kill box, right? And the way you fought Tzeentch was you tried to like pick at them and weaken them and pull them apart from outside of 18 inches. And that's just not, so you can't do that anymore. You're not safe. There you go. Okay. Does he still get 2 casts if he comes on during the hero phase after doing this? What a great question.
I would think he only gets 1 cast in the realm, but if you put him on the table, he'll get 2 casts if it's in the hero phase.
Correct.
You know,
like I think he can actually sneak 3 spells. Yes, because the ability is letting him use a spell ability once he hits the table. Right? If he pops out, like, so if he's in the Shadow Realm, he casts it and he uses this ability, it lets him use a spell ability. That's not drawing on his power level, because power level informs how you use the spell ability, like the cast spell base ability, and cast spells as you can do it equal to your power level. So he can do 1 from the Shadow Realm. If he gets himself out of the Shadow Realm in the hero phase, now he has 2 more casts. That's how
I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah. That's amazing. Thank you, whoever said that.
Absolutely. Your 3rd triple caster. That's what I'm saying. This dude is so good. And then, like, as a backup, just as the nice sprinkles on top, he's got another big horde buster.
Horde killer. Oh, great spell.
It's a horde center. Right? Yeah. Like, it's a 5-up.
Yeah, it's a 5-up, but still, just like more mortal damage on big units. It's great. Like, yeah.
It's great.
Again, just like, I would have liked that ability could be Ipsum Lorem text, and I would still love him. That's my point. This dude, who has the points for Changeling in front of them? I don't even remember. I'm sorry, I don't know. Again,
was it 170? Yeah.
Yeah, 170.
Yeah, he's expensive.
I mean, okay. Worth it.
Oh.
All right. The Fate Skimmer and the Change Caster. So these are your little pink horror hero dudes. Freaking Mac, the Moon Man, McDonald's spokesman over here. I'm going to be honest. Okay. I don't really like either of these guys. I don't know if either, like, I don't think they would make my list in either version. That's not because they're actually like terribly bad. One, the little dude on the chariot has an interesting ability to get you a fate point. What's that?
There's just too much good stuff is the problem.
Yeah, these guys, like, I actually don't hate the rally thing because it can work on your Lord of Change. Like, if he's standing around your Lord of Change and you rally on Kairos or your Lord, like, they are a Disciples of Tzeentch demon unit, and suddenly you're rallying 9 dice on your big bird, which is, like, actually pretty useful. And, like,
I'll say that.
Go ahead.
The Fate Master, I actually have him on my list. You know, the Fate Skimmer, because of this ability of picking a unit to, you know, basically die, right? So you use your family ability. You say, hey, my Screamers are going to die. Use his ability and say, hey, my Screamers are going to die. And you just throw your Screamers away because you know you have a Lord of Change who's going to bring 2 of them back.
Right.
And if you take 2 units of Screamers, then you do the first one, you get 2 points. Is the next turn, you use the fresh unit 2 points. Then you bring back your first unit on turn 2 to use him on turn 3 for 2 points. and use your fourth one on turn 4 for 2 points. And that just happens in your hero phase, but this happens in every hero phase.
Right.
So now you can start picking other ones of your units that you think might die. And so if they do die, you're not sad, you're just happy.
Yep. Totally fair. Like both of these guys actually have interesting abilities and they're not that expensive. I just keep not being able to get them in a list because I can't fit 18 heroes in the list. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
There's I'm quite sure there's builds where you, like you just said, if you're truly like fate maxing, like the Fate Skimmer is probably actually a perfectly valid choice. So yeah. Okay.
And the Fate Skimmer is only 140.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's relatively cheap for like a single caster, 10 health, very fast model. So that's cool. All right. The Burning Chariot of Tzeentch itself is, you know, the weird classic Burning Chariot. It shoots weird flame and it's anti-infantry and it has its little, all the stuff that it has. It's like completely unimpressive in combat, as all chariots always are. It also can give you a fate point. This is the funniest thing to me, that like it has the crappy D3 impact hits, but if you roll the 1 on the D3 where you get no impact hits, instead they're like, oh, fate point.
So even when it doesn't work, it works.
Right.
If you have the points to swap this out for the Screamers, this is only 20 points more.
Yeah.
You know, so instead of 90, it's 110. And they have a shooting attack. They have anti-rend against infantry, right? They have an ability of hitting, charging, and then retreating, doing mortal wounds, right? Or get a fate point. So if you have them built and you have the 20 points over a Screamer, I would include this over a Screamer, especially if you're going with the Fate Master, Fate Skimmer as well, just to have that recursion, because you can still recursion these guys as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like, again, it's fine. It's I think in general you're going to be tight on points, but I agree with you. They're more or less a straight swap for the Screamers. That's the role they're playing here. It's a little more versatile. So I cannot find a use for the Exalted Flamer. Am I missing something?
It's the ability of subtracting armor that's really attractive.
Yeah.
You know,
I
if you can,
guess.
the likelihood of it working is slim because you only have 4 attacks.
Right.
Right. You know, you have 4, you're hitting on 2, so maybe you get all 4, but then you wound them on 4, so you're only gonna get like maybe 2, and then it's rend 1 if you're shooting the right stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, it's more of a, if you're going into the Flamer build, I can see taking it. You know, you can maybe get lucky and do a wound, and then you're giving all of your Flamers +1 to what is it, wound?
To wound.
Yeah,
+1
+1
to
wound.
yeah.
And Flamers hit on 2s naturally.
Yeah, they hit on 2s
Yeah,
naturally,
there's
wound
another-
on 4s, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
another thing that strips armor as well. There's a spell that strips armor, I think.
yeah, there is from the Changeling, the Changecaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like there is conceivably there is a like an armor stripping build where you hit with the spell and then hit with this guy who you're already at rend 2 now from the spell, and then he pushes it to rend 3,
Which would be huge.
right?
Yeah.
Sangor's going in at rend 3.
Sure. Absolutely. Like it's not
Well,
that
and that's above and beyond. Yeah.
Yeah. My honest answer is this is, again, this is so funny in this army. This dude is actually like, he's perfectly viable. In many armies, I think he would show up with this kind of what he does. Because I'm like, oh, +1 to wound. What an incredible buff. Again, one of the best buffs in the game, right? And an ability that you can use in any shooting phase. That is any shooting phase, by the way. You can sap their save in the opponent's turn, which is crazy. And that I can potentially strip their save away. Like, wow, that's great, right? And you think about that and you're like, man, this is really good. And then I'm like, yeah, but I've got it. 1, he's kind of expensive for like a little fragile dork that's going to pretty easily get killed if anything looks at him funny. And 2, like you're really banking a lot on those attacks, right? Connecting and actually burning something. And the reality is the targets that you want to get it the most on, so like read anything with a 3-up save, which is where you want it because your armor cracking can be a challenge outside of your spells, is the things you're least likely to actually get the effect on. I hate stuff like that, right? Where it's like, oh, you can like literally the lines are overlapping of like, I need to get the effect and my chance of failure for the effect, right? Are just, it's a single line.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like them. Now, the regular flamers who are like 3 for what? 110, 130, 120?
120, I think. 120,
Yeah,
130.
Something in that range.
Yeah.
I like them just fine.
Yeah.
They're like, again, they still have the anti-infantry. They put out 10 shots as a unit on 2s and 4s. Ren 1 against infantry, Ren nothing otherwise. They have shoot in combat. Hopefully you never need to use that because if they got in combat, something's gone wrong. And D3 damage. And they can apply the burning keyword. This is really the only instance of that anymore. And then like you could, even if they die, you still get to do the burning thing, which is fun. So you do just slowly chip away at the unit, and there's kind of no way to remove it. These guys are also really good as off-turn shooting, as like unleash targets, because they're base 2s to hit, so they still hit on 3s even on the off turn. So yeah, I like them. They're fine, and they're obviously like little tiny bases. Good swap targets. Again, a thing you can easily like march on from the end, and they still can resolve a target very easily. You know, you put them at 6 inches, 12 inch reach. They're hitting something in the shooting phase. It's 18 inches out from the board edge. That's okay. It's going to be a lot of targets. So I like the flamers. They're good.
Yeah, very good.
Screamers are amazing. Like their stats are kind of whatever. Like Drawn to Magic has its uses every so often, and they are a beast, and it's whatever. But
that's not what you take.
You take them because they're a 14-inch move, 90-point unit that is the perfect swap target that can take objectives and then make your opponent take them back. They're incredible swaps for the Mirror Realm. They actually kill most enemy dumb chaff, like their little dumb chaff units, because they swing in with 9 attacks on 4s and 4s at rend 1 damage 2. Right? So they will tend to beat up other little cheapy enemy chaff units, and they're 90 points for 3. Incredible. And yes, as you said, you can recall them with the Lord of Change. So... I mean,
very good.
Yeah, they're great. Like, they're so good. Go Sky Sharks, Manta Rays, whatever you are, whatever this weird thing is. I don't know. They're incredible.
Well, you can recall them with the Silver Summoner. Or are you saying with the Lord of the Change?
Lord of Change lets them do a normal move during the hero phase, but of course you can always smoke and mirrors them as well. You know, swapping out a more powerful unit, you know, on the flank. You know.
Right.
You know, there's so many options. Just depends on where those objectives are.
Exactly. And they're just so fast. Like the mission we played was one of them that has the objectives like within 6 inches of the edge of the board. So, and I had that ability. So it's just a complete nightmare. Like any objective was just immediately takeable. Right. So yeah. Okay. Pink horrors and blue horrors and brimstone horrors. I'm going to shut up now. Caleb, I'm going to let you, I have a personal rule. I will never play these guys. I don't care how good they are. I will never put I will never put a horror of any kind on the table. I hate these things. Like I hate hell and all Montagues. Okay. Like I refuse. So why don't you tell me about these? Because I am never going to get experience. And I literally didn't even read them. I'm like, nope, skip.
I'll be honest, Vince. You know, I heard that a long time ago. And so I talked to the rules writers and I said, please make them worse. And they came through. They said we're turning this, you know, we're turning this around. We're gonna make Vince love these models when he sees them, you know, until the next edition, you know. But so they lost some things, right? So the pink horrors, they used to blow up on, you know, 4s. Now they blow up on 5s, right? So it's nowhere near as murder wounding back. Their points dropped by 10 points, so you know, not that big of a deal. But they're still somewhat of a tar pit, 2 wounds each, so they're decent. But the big thing with them is their shooting attack has gotten better, right? They auto wound, they crit auto wound now when they shoot 2 shots each, so. They're just okay, in my opinion, right? You know, we're talking about 10 guys, 20 wounds, 6 up save. You know, if you're near a blue unit and the blue unit suffered some wounds, you can choose, instead of blowing up on your opponent, you can put 2 blues back. But blues got a lot worse. In the past, they used to resurrect as soon as you lost a model. Now they resurrect at the end of the turn. And so you have a chance to completely nuke 20 6 up, you know, wounds, and now you're not coming back at all.
Gotcha.
It's just dead. So they completely neutered them. I told them to really hurt them for you, and so they definitely they listened, right? But the blues have crit auto wounds as well, so they're scary because, you know. But you also got to think about they still could be very good though, because if you cast 20 blues with a 5 up ward safe, -1 to hit, you bring them down to like 4 models out of the 20. At the end of the phase, I'm rolling 16 dice to get brims. Then in my turn, I'm sucking all those back up, baby.
Yep.
Replacing them with blues, casting a spell to put them right back down, throwing pinks into them, and then sucking the back unit up. So there's play. There's definitely play with this, but on a surface level, your wish is my command.
I appreciate it. Very good. Excellent. If I never see another bubblegum demon in my entire life on the table, I'll be perfectly happy. Like, I would like to relegate these things to the ash bin of history. I hate them so much. But that's fine. I'm glad they have some play. That's fine. It seems as though we finally fixed this conundrum that we accidentally created when we released a board game 8 years ago and ruined this unit.
Yeah, it seems like every edition it's like crazy good, medium suck, crazy good. Like they can't figure it out. They can't get like a decent, I mean, I guess this is their tribe of making the blues go into turn. Maybe this is the move, with all the spells. So we'll see.
All right, very good. Okay, next up, our gaunt summoner friends. So obviously we've got the one on the disc and the one walking around on foot. He's got his staff and weapons and stuff like that. He's 7 health and a 5/5 because he's that guy. He's a demon. He's one of the 9 gaunt summoners. So that's pretty cool. Let's talk about the abilities because that's what matters here. He's a wizard too, so that's nice. He has cavalry, which is very funny to me. That little disc, it's hilarious. It's a mount, so there you go. Enemy units cannot. He has this Master of the Silver Tower. Enemy units cannot end a charge move within half an inch of a friendly Argent Shard that is wholly within 12 inches of this unit and was set up on the battlefield in the same turn. This is like, oh, so you don't lose both shards is kind of what they're trying to get at here. So you can like protect a shard so they can't charge it. That's weird. I mean, it's fine. I never got in a situation where people are pushing that hard on my shards, and I don't care in general if one of my shards dies. In fact, I'm hoping it does.
Could you use a shard as a charge blocking?
Sort of, but yeah, go ahead.
It's tough because of the fact that it's only 60 mil, right? And if you're going to stop it from, then there's no rule. It doesn't say you can't pile into it.
Right.
No, but what I'm saying is that like imagine that they're coming through some portion of terrain.
Funnel it through. Yeah.
Yeah, you put it in the middle of the gap.
Yeah.
Right. And so now the only way for them to get to you is to charge over it, but then they can't string the unit around on either side. So you have to fully clear it.
Yeah.
And still stay within the range of your unit. Like I just wonder if there's actually some interesting play there.
Yeah, I think so, especially with manifestations as well. If you put the manifestation in between this and that, and you're really blocking it all up. I mean, I can see it working, but I think the big reason to take him is his next ability.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to tie off on that, Tom, the key with it is, remember, you still, when you're setting up the terrain, you still have the normal rules about how close, or setting up your faction terrain, you still have the normal rules about how close you can be to other things. So like when you set it up, you can't be within 3 inches of an objective, 1 inch of another piece of terrain, right? So like it would really take, you can't completely lock it off. And so like, depending on what that other terrain was, if it's not tall, they could just walk right over it, right? Like I'm not saying it's impossible.
But
I'm saying
you end within a half inch is the key.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
I'm
saying that like it would take exactly the right type of terrain. Like you would need impassable terrain effectively on both sides, and you'd have to have the exact right distance in the middle to where like they can't get around it or stop near it and stuff like that. Like yes, it works, but it's a very specific situation. A lot of tables, that's just never going to be a thing. Anyways, what you're actually talking about is it all belongs to Tzeentch. Once per battle, army, start of any turn, pick an objective you do not control that you controlled sometime earlier. You control that objective. Okay.
That's crazy good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yep.
Apparently, it looks like Tzeentch still cheats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because you can go turn 1 and take an objective quickly and easily, but your unit's going to die, because they're going to take it back. And so you just keep in the back of your head, at any point in this game, I can screw your turn over, and I can take 5 points away from you, from holding more objectives. You just hold 1, you don't hold more.
Yep.
And now you're down.
It also plays into the game plan. Like it's pretty good to just like, Tzeentch is an army where you can have enough units that you can just like race out, grab I think Tzeentch loves a 6 objective board. That's a great day. right?
Yeah.
So you just race out, kind of touch a bunch of objectives, gain control of them, have a high point turn. They come at you. You like mirror realm and fold reality and walk a bunch of people away, and who cares? They kill the one unit that's remaining. You get some fate points, whatever you happen to be doing. And then now all of those are now gaunt summonable. For like you got a bunch of fate points when they took them all during their turn. And every one of them is now just freewheeling. The Gaunt Summoner is just like, any point, I will take them back. Right. So it's just win-win for losing. It's great. Okay. And then he has a dumb spell. So that's fine. I ain't trying to get my Gaunt Summoner in combat with an enemy hero. Okay. But hey, congratulations. If you, the goal here should be, what's the most impressive hero you can kill, I guess. Who can kill the 11 wound hero? There's got to be some 11 wound hero in the game, right? What hero has 11 wounds? Find him and go hunting and mark up that Chivo. The regular Gaunt Summoner is basically the same, obviously, except he doesn't fly and have a disc. He just walks around. His difference, he still has the All Belongs to Tzeentch. He still has the Master of the Silver Towers. He just has a different spell that lets him basically have a target's move and they lose fly, which is fine.
Strong. That's a strong spell.
Absolutely.
It's
especially since you're such a movement abusing army. I'm sorry, go ahead.
If you combine it,
210, they are expensive though.
They are expensive.
Yeah, I was going to say it at the end, but that's the one thing you're going to find out. Every character, every unit has a use case. Good luck fitting it all in your list. Right? But what I was going to mention is this guy combined with the sigil. If you were lucky enough to roll a 2d6 dice and get a 4, and you're like, hey, you can't run either. So your unit's a half move. So you move 5 inches, you're moving 2 and 2.5, and you can't run. Stay there.
Yeah. It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
RM, good call. Auto kill 8 wounders with Kairos. Yeah, sure. Just set the spell cast to a 9. Boom. Got him. All according to plan. Oh, there you go. Vengorian Lords have 11 wounds. There it is, folks. Who can chalk up the Vengorian Lord kill with your Gaunt Summoner? Don't worry, boys. I got him. I agree. This guy always ends up cut from I built a bunch of different lists and he ended up cut basically every time. He was just there's too many other toys I wanted to play with.
Yeah.
So. Oh, what's up, Chad? All right, this guy. Now it's time. Why have we been wasting time on anything else except this Slanesh infiltrator? All right. So the Fate Master, 150, I believe, off the top of my head. I think that's right. Yep. Worth every penny. 6 health, 4 up save, absolute beast. Look at this dude. Actually has a decent attack profile. You love to see it. Ren 2, damage 2. That's great. And he has an ability that costs fate points. That's what that is. Not command points. Fate points.
Yep.
Once per turn army, enemy hero phase, spend 2 fate points, then pick a visible friendly Arcanite unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit to be the target. For the rest of the turn, the first time an enemy unit ends a charge move within 3 inches of the target, you can remove the target from the battlefield and set it up in reserved, masked by illusion. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Thought you were going to finally get him? Oh, you were wrong. You ain't getting nothing. I mean, what this says is they're just not going to charge you. So you win either way. Either you charge me and I go to the mirror realm and then get to go somewhere else, or you just don't charge me and then I spent 2 fate points to be immune to charges. This is a win.
Yeah.
Right? They cannot make a good choice here. So
yeah, especially if you can bubble wrap around an objective, and the only way to get on that objective is if they charge you.
Yep.
And stuff like that. Stay outside of 3 inches so they can't pile onto it. There's some use cases there. I just don't. My only concern is spending my fate points. I like to save them.
Sure.
Sure. Those are my fate points.
I live fast and die young with my fate points. They go through my hands like water. I got no savings, baby. I'm burning. But I get it. And then he also has. We're not even done yet. That's what's so crazy. This guy's good. He's also a wizard 1, by the way, which is fine. But the once per turn army, your movement phase, bound retinue. This unit can only use this ability if it's in the Shadow Realm. Pick up to one other friendly unit that's also in the Shadow Realm to be the target. Set up this unit on the battlefield more than 9 inches away from all enemy units. Then set up the target unit wholly within 6 of this and more than 9 from all enemy units. That's right. He can take himself and another unit out of the Shadow Realm, set up 9 away. See previous statement about making 9-inch charges. Pretty great. Pretty great.
Yep.
Lots of things you might want to go ahead and bring out with you and then go mess some people up. So that's pretty good. And there's no limit on what he can pull out. I like that. Yeah, the first thing is Arcanite only for the 2 fate points. But the second ability is just be masked by illusion. That's it.
Yeah.
So, yep. He's real good. I played him with the Mutants and Mad Things formation, and I loved it. I just loved being able to just be like, in, out, everything's in and out every turn, whatever. You don't know where anything is. They're all wherever I want them to be every turn. Eat it. Like, you guys, you're never catching me. I'm everywhere I want to be.
He definitely adds another layer on top of the layer that's already formed.
Yeah.
You know, it's more to keep track of from your opponent's standpoint of what could happen. And it's almost impossible to keep track of everything unless you just have it like that, I guess. But it's just, there's a lot.
The fact that he can walk someone else out is actually so valuable on its own, right? Because he can help. If you get like a glut in the Shadow Realm for any reason, he can he can unstick your Shadow Realm glut. So that's also good. Okay. The Magister of so the 2 Magisters, the one on foot and the one on disc again. Blah blah blah. They're both Wizard 1. They both have like stats, and that's fine. I mean, they are both 4-up saves, which is absolutely comical for these guys. But hey, okay, that's cool. I think they're 150 and like the Magister on disc is like 150, and the guy on foot is like 130 or 120 or something like that. I mean, I'm vaguely in the ballpark here.
150 and 140.
Okay, there you go. Sure, that's close. The important part that they give you, which is just like we can talk about this. They both have the same ability, which is they allow you to unbind your own spells. That's what that reaction is. So you can cast a spell that you don't care about, unbind your own spell, gain a fate point, and then he gets +1 to cast for the rest of the phase. So potentially then more if he's near like the Beacon of Sorcery and everything else. Okay. So that's funny. What a very funny play pattern he has. And again, he matches well with the earlier trait or artifact, sorry, the tome that we talked about where you can +1, -1. He's a great carrier of that trait. Or artifact, sorry. Then they each have their own little ability. The Magister is Fates Converge. While you have 6 or more fate points, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly Arcanite units while they're wholly within 12 of this unit. I seem to remember earlier talking about some kind of fate build where if you got a 9 or more to charge, you got +1 attacks. And then this is 6 points, which feels like a very low bar to clear that also gives you +1 attack.
Yep. 5 attack Zangors, 5 attack Enlighten.
Yeah.
You know, 3 attack Acolytes from Scourge of Gran, you know, with -1 rend, 2 damage each.
I hear you, but which would you rather have? 5 attack Zangor or 4 attack Zangor with crit mortal?
So it depends. So I would rather have 1 less attack with mortals personally, but the likelihood of that working out is hard. Because you're talking about a foot guy that moves 5 inches, it has to be wholly within 12, versus a guy who flies 14 inches, can run also, and doesn't have to spend a command point, and is a passive ability that's a lot more likely to happen almost every time. Plus, you can use his 14-inch move to smoke and mirrors and have fun throughout the entire time as well. You know, so if you're building a list where your opponent has to come to you, then go with the regular Magister on foot. If you're playing a list that wants to touch people, go with the guy on the disc.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, like the crit mortal ability on the regular Magister is strong, but it is a bit of a trap because, like, what I found is that my units that were Arcanites that I would want to give this buff to were like just all over the board in different places, like every round, and like making sure that the Magister also can pop out of the Shadow Realm in the same way, like on a swap and or be in the right place was just like, it's just all. There comes a time when you're spinning too many plates. You know what I'm saying? And just like having a dude who's reliably fast is just like nice. It's just like, okay, just fly over there, dork. I don't have to worry about anything else. So, okay.
And it's 7 wounds. A little Magister, 7 wounds. What the?
Ogre toughness on this guy. So tough.
Guard, cool.
Okay. The Ogroid Thaumatarge. No.
The soggy one. Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I
Or
mean, the soggy one exists. Yeah. But this guy is not that. He's not. So
no, he's not.
Skip.
Yep.
The Curseling. Also an incredibly good model. Love the Curseling. All right. I might have to get out the Curseling next and paint him. I still have this guy. He was sitting there. He's been sitting in my sort of shelf for a little while, and I was like, it might be time for you, little guy. So he's got a ranged attack and he's got a sword, and that's all fine. He's 6 health. He has a 3-up save. Very unusual in this army. He's like a full-on Chaos Lord, so that's nice.
Yep, and he's also the -1 to saves spell guy.
Yeah,
he is. He's a wizard 2, which I like. The Curseling is what? He's also 170, right? I think. Again, I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head.
No. Curseling is
150.
lower. He's 150.
150.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good. Gee, really thought. Okay. So he has once per turn army, any combat phase. If this unit is in combat, it can use a non-summon spell ability as if it were your hero phase, as if that ability had the unlimited keyword, and as if this unit had not cast any spells this turn. Cool. That's pretty cool. So he can cast in combat, gives you an extra spell cast, and he's like I said, okay to be in combat as long as you're careful
every
enough of them.
combat.
That's true. Every combat, enemy phase as well. That's right. Yep.
So, like, there's options here.
Oh, sure.
Now, getting him into combat is going to be an issue.
Again, slow walking 5-inch guy, but you know there are tricks. And then yes, he has his own spell, the Armor Bane Curse. It is -1 to save rolls for combat attacks that target that unit. It is notably only combat attacks, whereas the earlier Exalted Flamer dude is any attack. But yes. So.
I'm trying to go back and look at the spells and see, can you cast that Infernal Gateway, or is it per phase, or is it per turn? If this one has not been a targeted spell this turn. So now, if you I was thinking maybe you can cast
Infernal Gateway
with zero phase,
right?
Then
no, but
barely
you can do your turn and their turn.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I was wondering if I could double dip in one full turn. Combat phase, you can't. Yeah, because that would be crazy. Like, all right, take 20 in the turn, hero phase, and 20 in the combat phase, and all right, you killed me. I'm gonna come back to life with a command point. Like, yeah.
Right. I mean, he's pretty good.
He's
this
fun.
guy, I like him a lot.
He's fine. Like, truly, in a normal world, he would be like, yeah, I'm gonna build around this guy. But there's just so much else in this army. Like, he's fine.
Sure. Yeah. This dude I intend to try next. He didn't make my list first cut. I want to give him a play. So
you're gonna have to be good with your placement of the terrain piece, because the spell only is 12 inches. Right. And so you have to position it knowing what's going to happen on next turn and where your units are going to be, and roundabout, I'm going to put it here.
Yep. Yeah, that is a good point. He could cast Infernal Gateway again and just target a different unit, right? He doesn't have to target the unit he's in combat with.
He doesn't have to. I'm spreading love, baby. Everyone's going to get a little bit.
Everybody's getting a little gate. Everybody gets a little. We're all going through the gateway together. Come on, let's go. All right. The Zangor Shaman. So also 150. I think like all these dudes are just 150 basically.
No. The Zangor Shaman is
130.
130.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
No,
I should have brought up points.
It's sad though. He lost my favorite ability, the recursion on Zangors.
Right.
Like literally the dirty D3 mortal wounds to bring back Zangors last edition was so much fun. I took it almost everyone on my list, and he lost it. And he still kept his run and charge ability, and the sigil does also the run and charge on a 4, and so that's cool. But I just don't see fitting him in on the hoping for the 3+. There's other things.
Yep.
And his like combat phase ability is awesome. Like
Yep.
I love his 6-inch ability,
Sure.
but
He has to get real danger close to be doing that. Yes, he doesn't have to be in combat, but people 6-inch drift into him pretty
I want
easy.
to give a giant companion attacks.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of things that are very like super valid, but hitting people with companion super sucks. Yes, obviously. But like, I did try this guy because I've always loved Zangor, and I ran a pretty Warflock heavy list. And what I found is that he just didn't deliver. That was the problem. Like like the Fate Master is your delivery mechanism for your Zangor horde. You don't need this guy. You don't need the run and charge because you're just gonna drop it 9 inches away and auto charge. Like, why would I need to run? That just makes your legs tired. If you could run somewhere or teleport somewhere, which one are you doing? Duh. Okay. That's why Lockjaw is a better hero than the Flash, as we all know. So, okay. Then, yes, regular Zangors, the good old-fashioned Zangors. 3 attacks, 4s, 3s, 1/1, crit 2 hits. Add 1 to wound rolls for this attacks while they're wholly within enemy territory. Boy, I wish that said outside of your own territory. I really do. Because this is like, on some maps, this is so hard to trigger, and on some maps, it's actually quite easy. But it just makes me angry. But anyways, they're good. They're good dudes. They have 2 health. There's, a lot of them. They take the Lore of Fate buff for the 5-up ward, as you mentioned earlier, with the neg 1 to be hit incredibly well. They're a great hammer.
They're much better, I think, than last edition. They get the crit 2 hits. Crit 2 hits happened only if you were wholly within their territory last edition. Now they just get it for free always. And now they got the +1 to wound, which is just, now they're 4s on 2s?
Yeah, 4s on 2s if they're in the right place,
If you pair them with Skyfires, they're 3s and 2s.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's just quality of life because you're not spending command points.
Yep. So, like the regular Zangors quite a bit. I think they're good. Real good.
You'll see them in most lists.
Yep. Then you've got the Enlightened and the Skyfires. I love both of these guys. I have no notes. They're wonderful.
I love it.
The Enlightened are absolute wrecking balls. Their ability in any combat phase that if they charge, they can either get crit 2 hits or become rend 2 on a 3 damage attack, because that's obviously also on the charge. It's just like wild as a hammer. And yes, we've mentioned all the ways you could give them +1 attack through the various and sundry things we've talked about already. These guys going to 5 attacks and then charging in with like 5 attacks, potentially
So much damage.
3s and 3s, rend 2, damage 3 is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that is a red mist unit, whatever you just charged into. So
Killed
And then-
Catacross.
yeah, sure.
One turn.
Absolutely believe it. They're just plow through him. You're the master of
And then the
war?
Fate-
Well, how about being the master of nothing?
Yeah.
And the Fate Master, if he's supporting them, can just yoink him back out on the counter charge.
Yeah.
Sure. It's great.
I don't think not on the counter charge, because I think the Fate Master is only acolytes. Or these
Oh, is it?
no,
it's
they're acolytes. No,
Arcanites.
they're Arcanites. So these are Arcanites too. Okay. So
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
You can,
so like you could, if he's in position, right?
Yeah.
You could send them in
Yep.
and then delete whatever you hit.
Yeah.
And then hit them with the fate thing, so that if they want to try to pursue him, they'll just disappear.
Yeah. And power through also. They're 4 wounds each.
Yep.
You do the whole switcheroo thing. You're 3 inches away. You hit something hard. You barely touch another unit because you know you're going to destroy whatever you hit. You just don't do anything against the one you're barely touching. So you can power through 14 inches back because you can't suck them back in the realm during their turn because they just came out this turn.
Yep.
So it's a good way to use them to still be effective on turn 1, but also be defensive during their turn.
Yep. unless they came out with as a companion of the Fate Master, in which case then
True.
you can mirror realm them right back up. That's right. So, you know, drop, pop, gone. Back to the Shadow Realm with you. Just a nightmare. I hope what we're actually conveying here is that this army is going to take some real like chops to play against. If you're playing somebody who's really got the skill to manipulate all these things, it's going to be a nightmare to fight. Then we get to the other side. Skyfires, love them. Can't get enough of them. Great range attack. Can't suffer penalties to hit and wound rolls for their shooting attacks, which makes them awesome.
It's a nice support unit.
Yeah, Unleash dudes. They work great with the thing that lets you march back on the board. As I mentioned, like you can pull them off. They float back on. They easily target whatever the heck they want. It's great. It's great. And yes, they give other Warflock units +1 to hit in combat. So great companions for Enlightened who are going to go in, or Zangors on foot who are going to go in.
2 damage hit now instead of D3. Good quality of life there. You know, a little bit more guaranteed. They love to get the all-out attack with the, you know, because they don't suffer negatives. Sigil with them, also very phenomenal.
Yep.
Like, they're a great unit.
Yeah, I have a pretty heavy amount of Zangor in my Tzeentch because I think that the Zangor are cool. And so I'm pretty happy. Basically, I'm just like, well, probably won't use the Shaman, but that's all right.
I wanted to paint Zangor, you know, for my Tzeentch. So this is a great time to be painting up Tzeentch.
Yeah, it's a good day. Carrick Acolytes. Caleb, talk about them. These are guys I've never owned these guys and I've never used them, so I have no basis here. What is this? What is this?
I mean, I'll be honest. It's one of those tricky units. You know, they're only 90 points. You get 10 guys. They don't do too much. It's their ability in this edition that's crazy, right? Now, of course, you do have the soggy version, which are really good at, you know, doing 2 damage swings, could possibly -1 a hit. You know, have 2 attacks each, so they could be a hit. But if you want to have something that's more tricksy and you're building fate points, this is your calling. You know, I think at the point I had like 20 fate points during my game, and we talked about it earlier today. And I was playing the faction or the family that comes off the table. So I came off my turn, put myself literally 19 inches away from the objective. And then on their turn, the ability says, if this unit is more than 6 inches away from all enemy units, so there is a way to kind of stop it. But if they're not within 6 inches, during the enemy's turn, they can move that many inches for every fate points you have. So if you have 20 fate points, you're moving 20 inches during their turn. And now I took your objective.
Could you redeploy as well?
It's just because it just says once per turn, army enemy movement phase. It's an ability, so it doesn't stop you from doing redeploys also. You know, and so if you build into Fate and you want to be blazing around the table, you know, Acolytes might be your jam for only 90 points. You know, and so I enjoy them. I have 30 of them. They're a lot of fun. I'm going to take them. And they come back to life also with that little artifact. Yeah. So you're like, hey, you killed them. Here's 5. Watch your objective. Right? So.
At any given point in time, these dudes might strap on the BK Knights and just go running. That's right.
Yeah.
Just
run. A lot of fun.
That movement ability is wild. And by the way, I am happy to see more X abilities. We need to use X more in Warhammer rules. I support this. When do we get our quadratics or whatever? Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. The Jade Obelisk, again, this is not I never picked these guys up. I don't know if they have any value here. Either you two have an opinion on the Jade Obelisk? I'm opinionless on them.
They're really defensive. Like, they're a really interesting, like, they only have 10 wounds, right? Or they only have 9 wounds, sorry. They only have 9 wounds, but they're 9 wounds on a 4-up save and -1 to be rended. But I don't know that I would ever, like, I don't know what the use case for 9 wounds on a 4-up save is.
Right.
They're just not fun to me. I want to have fun.
Yeah, I don't get them. But hey, maybe somebody else will say in the comments. If you have a use case for the Jade Obelisk, I mean, they look pretty cool. Put it in the comments or tell us in the chat. And thank you to everybody who's been chatting the whole time. I've been trying to keep up with this. There's a lot of conversation going on. And thank you to everybody who's super chat. If you haven't hit like yet or done those things, hey, now's a great time to do that. Click like. And then finally, a unit that your list should have absolutely at minimum 2 of. I think the use case if you have 3 is if you're heavy in Lore of Change. it is nice to always have like one extra one in the clip to be able to hit people with because you got to pull one out of the Shadow Realm to do it. But Chaos Spawn, 2 are fine. Chaos Spawn are great. They auto deploy into the Shadow Realm, so you don't have to actually burn one of your 3 to snap them up there. And if the unit's destroyed, you set up an identical unit in the Shadow Realm. There you go. I had one come out, Caleb. So I got him into combat. Like I killed a Sentinel, put him in combat with the Sentinels. He piles in and pulled a hero into combat with him. Because like, yes, you can't set him up with multiple, but you can pile into other things, right? So I pulled into like the Enlightener or whatever. Okay, something like that. The Enlightener fights back, whiffs, or some Lumineth hero does 0 damage to him, does completely whiffs, just like missed all his attacks. That's 4 up to wound. It happens, right? Sentinels attack him, do 2 damage to my Chaos Spawn, so he lives. I'm like, heck yeah, bulletproof, can't stop this guy. So then he's still around. He goes, he kills like 2 or 3 Sentinels, which is great. He rolled like 10 attacks. You're just killing Sentinels, having a great day with him, having a great life. Coming to the next turn, okay. I come in with the Zangor, and because I did that off turn, come in with the Zangor and the Fate Master. Fate Master goes in on the hero, fails to kill the enemy hero because he rolls out of the box. He has the 5-up ward at that moment, okay? And just like I hit and wounded real strong, and then he just rolled crazy on the 5-ups. So dude had 1 wound, 1 health left. The little dumb whatever this hero is. And he's like, okay, cool, I live. And I was like, oh no, my friend, you forget. Bulletproof Spawn is still in play. He comes in, kills that Lumineth character. Everybody attacks him back. Doesn't die again. Whole game, never died. Ran around at 4 health. And I was like, it's incredible. Toughest spawn in history. The problem was he was so good. He was stuck out on the table, and I didn't have, I couldn't keep, getting him back. I was like, I gotta mirror realm this guy out of here or something. So anyways, yeah.
Now the spawns themselves are crazy good. I mean, especially with that family that says, pick a unit that's going to die. I had a situation where I had 4 wounds on my spawn, and I was like, my spawn's going to die. And my opponent goes, well, I'm just not going to attack it. I'll attack your other unit. I said, fair enough. Retreat. I'm dead. Fate point.
Yep. Fate point. There you go. Yep. You love it. Okay, yes, Chaos Spawn are great. Like they're just so valuable in this army for a million reasons. For the Mirror Realm, for swapping, for obviously the spell in there, and so on and so forth. Okay. Speaking of which, we've danced around this for a long time. Let's finally talk about the manifestations. Okay. Yeah, these are good manifestations. They really are. So the Burning Sigil, it's a thing you cast out there. It doesn't move. So, you can place it, within relative proximity to your units, regardless of the presence of enemies. And in each hero phase, you have to use this ability in each hero phase, right? So you've got to do this. You pick each unit, friendly and enemy, within 9 inches of this manifestation, and you roll 2 dice. You pick either result and apply the corresponding effects for the rest of the turn. Okay, and you get stuff like it's exactly what you think it is. There you go. Including like heals on your units, mortal damage on them, +1 to hit for your stuff, -1 to hit for them, +1 to wound for you, -1 to wound for them, yada 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 yada. Right? So, yeah. Like it's good. Yeah. Even though it's a bit random, rolling 2 dice, you're generally going to get a good result. Like you have to roll 2 ones for it to truly do nothing. So it's pretty rare. 1 in 36 chance it does nothing. That's not bad. The Tome of Eyes is great. The Compendium of Dark Knowledge. Pick a friend.
It moves 4 inches.
It does move 4 inches. It hops along.
It moves. It moves. What the hell?
Yeah, little book walks.
Let's go.
The first time I saw this, I read it and I was like, oh, it's good. It's too bad that you can't follow your wizard around. And then I went up and looked and I was like, no, we can. It's going to follow your wizard around.
That's right.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. This is such a good ability. So at any rate, pick a visible friendly. This is a thing you use in your hero phase. This is only your hero phase. You have to think carefully about like what you're going to want to do off turn and stuff like that. But nonetheless, because you are off turn casting, like, period. Like that is your plan.
you know what I read this as? You cast Infernal Gateway once per turn in your hero phase.
It's fine. If you're in Lore of Change, it can get you access to, I mean, honestly, it's really good to gain access to the defensive spell.
Sure,
In-
that
in-
Shield of Fate.
Yeah, the Shield of Fate. Because, like, so what it basically does is the target can immediately use a spell ability from the Lore of Change or the Lore of Fate. The spell does not count towards the number of spell or banish abilities the target can use in this phase. So, one, it's a bonus spell you cast, right? And two, it lets you dip into the other lore, right? You don't have to, like, pre-choose it. You just get to use the one you want at that moment. Right. And it's just really good because I think oftentimes, like in the Lore of Change, what I'm honestly hurting for most of the time is that defensive spell. And so this just lets me reach out and get that quite easily and have that until I need the gateway, and then I gateway once I have fate points later on.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm the opposite. I'm the one that's doing the gateway with all my wizards on and spreading the love and doing the 5-up and protecting me from shooting. And then I'm going to dip into the spawn.
The spawn.
The spawn.
Ability,
yeah.
Because then I can teleport to the spawn. Or to your point, Tom, I'll do the whole teleporting because I already have a unit in combat. And maybe it's a spawn in combat from me moving off the table or something of that nature. And so it's this single-handedly, the Tome of Eyes has stopped me for like 2 minutes and just like thinking like, all right, I got too much shit I can do. Like, what spell should I do? And okay, did I bring that unit in this turn? No, that was last turn. No, this was this turn. What was it? This turn? All right, cool. It was this turn. Okay, so I can't do this. It's truly, a thinker spell. And try to put together a plan with it. It's awesome though. I love it.
It's a really good manifestation, and it just opens up so many doors, right? Like it's crazy good. Then you've got your big demonic Oh, by the way, just as a thing, the tome is the one that casts on a 5, right? If I scroll back up.
Can't remember. It was cheap.
It's so cheap. Yeah, the tome is the easiest cast. As per usual, with endless spells, they have no clue what's actually good.
All three of these are probably the best endless spells in the game, in my opinion.
Sure.
Like, the Sigil, we didn't really harp on how great it is. It is amazing. You're bombing enemy units 9 inches, and if they do damage to you, you're healing your stuff D3 damage. So it's almost like a 2D3, in reverse,
right?
Positive and negative, and that spell's amazing. This next spell you're about to talk about is the scariest spell in the game when you have 24 fate points.
Sure. Like, here's the thing, though. This is the most rote of them because it's just like a classic attacky endless spell, right? Like, the number should be directly inverted. Like, this should be the one that goes out on a 5, and the tome should be the one on 7, because it's the one that's like radically changing your entire gameplay possibility. This thing is horrendously scary because, so it's got its little anti-wizard +1 rend. Who cares? It's crit mortal. That's what matters. It's 2d6 attacks on 4 3s. We're at 1/1. Okay. But it gets 2 attacks for each fate point you have. That's fully wackadoo, right? Like, getting to 8 or 10 fate points is not hard, which means this thing comes in with 27 attacks on average at that point. That is what's the word I'm looking for here?
Beautiful.
Silly.
It's just beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So, like, all of these are good. I completely agree with you. It's just comical to me. It's like, this is also your classic endless spell challenge setup of, like, ideally you're trying to get it set up off turn, so that way in your next turn it can actually go move and then charge something. Like, it's it has a play pattern that it has. If you summon it in your turn, it's just going to sit there. Hopefully you land at long charge, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But, like, and it is very scary. Like, it does a ton of attacks. Please don't misunderstand me. But it doesn't change your whole game, and that's what the Tome of Eyes does, right? The Tome of Eyes just is, like, wild in what it can accomplish.
Yeah.
So, all right. And then finally, the Argent Shards. We've already talked about it, but, like, short order here. It's a very fragile little piece of terrain. Tori, if you're watching this later, or now, because I don't think Tori's in the chat right now. She's probably busy tonight. But Tori, if you're watching this later, Bring the sealed one, like in this picture, to Adeptcon. I will trade you for the pulling apart one, like we talked about. I need 2 of the normal ones. So Tori and I are going to trade. So she'll have 2 of the ones that are like reforming or splitting or whatever, and I'll have 2 of the just normal ones. That's what we're organizing here, because I don't like the splitting apart one. Anyways, once per turn, you get to use the Argent Shard to cast out of. It's just spell portal type of situation. And you have an ability that either, if there's only one Argent Shard, you can set up another one. Or if you have both of them, you can teleport one around the board 9 inches away from enemy units.
Yeah.
Great.
Better than a spell portal.
You just need one of the terrain possible cabbage, but it comes with 2 towers. I just don't like the look of the one. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Caleb. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I interrupt all the time. So I was just saying it's better than spell portal, because spell portal requires you to be next to one to activate the other.
Yeah.
This is, I'm going to be in one corner of the table and I'm going to activate the shard on the other side because this is fair.
Right. Yeah, there's no range to this. You just like get to say it comes out of the shard. It just
Correct.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Kind of like the changeling going, hey, it's coming out of the Lord of Change. He has 4 spells.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Any model in a unit. Could be the Lord of Change. Could be that random Arcanite. That little dude. Anybody. Could be anybody. So yeah, there you go. All right. Let's talk Armies of Renown real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay.
Funny. I just sent my order in my email ordering the rest of my army that I don't have.
There you go. This is definitely you army as well, Tom. I'm not surprised you love this. Yes. Tzeentch living out the Seraphon fantasy of orbital bombardment from their magic spaceships. Yes, indeed. Okay. So we have 2 Armies of Renown here. The first one we're going to cover is the Oracles of Fate. This is Kairos and demons, basically, here. If you liked the old Destiny dice, okay. Well, get those then instead. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not interested. Like, I'll just state this at the beginning. I am not a huge fan of either of these Armies of Renown, because in both of them, you're going to lose your Shadow Realm and a lot of other stuff, and they pre-pick your spells in ways I don't like and stuff like that. Yeah, you lose actually what I like. But at any rate, and then he has a cool ability, the Ninefold Blessings, that when you have exactly 9 Destiny dice, you can reroll. Or sorry, that's wrong. Not if you have 9 Destiny dice. If the total of your unspent Destiny dice is exactly 9. I'm sorry, I said that the wrong way. Meaning, like, you have a 6 left and a 3 left. Okay, that's 9. You can reroll the remaining dice or whatever. And then until the start of your next turn, friendly Oracles of Fate units have a ward of 5 up, and enemy units get -1 to save.
Am I reading this? Yeah. No, I was just saying, are we reading this correctly? So if I start with 9 dice and it's over 9 points, because I have a 2 in there,
yes,
I can't use the ability, and I have to spend my points as quickly as possible to get to 9.
Correct.
Right, and then at the start of the next turn, I re-roll all those dice, and I'm like, crap, that's an 8. I don't have this ability.
That's right. Yes.
Awesome.
Correct. Yeah. That is, you are constantly trying to just like burn dice to perfectly get to exactly 9 is your total, so you get to re-roll and so on. Yes. And then you have your heroic trait, which is roll a die. If you have 9 unspent Destiny dice, you must replace one of your Destiny dice with that roll. Otherwise, you get a new Destiny dice. So that's in your hero phase. You're restoring one every round. And then you have an artifact that lets you like jump between objectives effectively. It has a 7-inch setup from enemy units instead of 9, which I guess is notable. But as usual, like the thing that I hate here is that you have a dumb spell lore with 1 spell. It is unlimited, I suppose, and it has different effects, so that's fine. And what they do is you can change the past. You pick an enemy unit within 12 inches of visible to caster that's in combat and has not yet been picked to be a target of this ability. Roll either 4 dice or a number of dice equal to the number of unspent Destiny dice you have. So it's just a very much worse Infernal Gateway. So that's fine. Or you have Seize the Present. Until the start of your next turn, add 1 to run rolls and charge rolls for friendly Oracles of Fate units while they're wholly within 12 of the caster. Cool. Or you get a you get a replace a fate die. Replace, not add. And you have a generic manifestation lore that is all of the manifestations. It's just they're all on a 6 now. The key is you can never have more than 1 at a time. That's the trick with it. It's weird. You can use all 3, but never more than 1 at a time. Okay.
Weird.
I mean, it's fine. You can like, you're going to have a bunch of weird casts because you have like all these demon heroes and casts. So you could just be like, you could summon the tome, use the tome's free cast, summon the sigil, use its ability and keep it around until you then like off turn create the simulacrum and then let it go do things the next turn. Like, I guess it does that. And yes, theoretically, because does the Tome of Eyes still give the good spell lores? Yes. Because the tome itself references out to those spell lores. So the fact that you don't have access to them is irrelevant because it's just saying pick an ability off of this table. So that still works.
Yep.
Your other one is the Change Cult Uprising, which is just any non-Warflock Arcanites. Okay. So this is like your non-Zangor Arcanites, which is just like...
How did we get no Zangor?
I know.
Like, I don't understand.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Insanity.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah, please do.
Please do.
So, like, you can, like, teleport your things around at the beginning of the game. Like, it does a lot of stuff. I don't even really want to talk about this one. It just makes me angry. Like, y'all can read it. Look, you're not going to play this. It's a bunch of bad units. That's the issue. Okay? Like, it does have some interesting little tricks in it. And... like the whole once per turn army and a hero phase for the puppet on a string, it is very funny. That can actually like potentially give you a bunch of fate points if they go ahead and still just do stuff with that hero. So if it's like a critical hero, they have to do stuff with, like move and fight and use core abilities, you will get a decent amount of fate points out of it. But the problem is the fate points only work for these 2 specific things that are here, right? And like they're just not very good. Yeah, I like it has the same silly shifting manifestations. It has a lot of things where you get fate points that just don't do anything that good. So I don't know why it references out to Masks by Illusion in the heroic trait, because you don't get that. So
I'm not sure.
Like, you don't get Masked by Illusion with his army. So the Call of Anarchy, where it says pick a terrain feature with an 18 inches unit, then pick a friendly non-hero change cult unit that is masked by illusion or that has been destroyed. The only actual valid thing you can pick is that has been destroyed. Because you don't have masked by illusion. You lost that ability in this army.
No, but some units have it inherently.
Oh, that's true, I guess. You can pick spawn. There you go. That's fair. Okay, you can pick a spawn. That's right. Yeah, you can pick a spawn.
But,
spawn mask automatically.
Well, it's not only a spawn. Like, the Fate Master.
No, he doesn't have any ability to put himself in. He can only pull himself out.
No, but he does. He could target himself with the charge.
Oh,
ability.
sure. Okay. If he spends, yes, that's true.
Or
okay,
he could target another
enough.
unit with the charge ability.
You're right.
Like,
fair enough. Yes. Okay. I take it back. You're right. You don't have the normal Mirror Realm ability, so it's just like super limited. You're right. You're right. There is some use for it. I had forgot about that. But yes, it is just like absolutely limited. Oh, yeah. There you go. It even says designer note. Units can be set up in reserve, masked by illusion, using the Fate Master's long in the planning ability. Okay. Yeah, sure. I guess I should have just read down to the designer's note. That and or I guess you can't take Chaos Spawn because they're not Arcanites. So yeah, that's it. That's your option. It's that. That thing. Look, this one
take
sucks.
Tome of Eyes. The Tome of Eyes and put people in.
Ooh, there you go. Okay, we got a second ability. Yes, you can with the shifting manifestation, you could get the Tome of Eyes and then use the spell out of the lore of
get
Tzeentch.
Tom's grabbing, man.
Yeah, we're
Give
gonna-
me a minute. Like I just
gonna
need to
gussy
go
up
through the
this pig.
Rolodex of what we just did. I'll find it. They're there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyways, it's super bad. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Don't play this. Like the demon one seems fine if you, especially if you like old fate dice. It's okay, but like this regular army is so good. I don't know what you're doing with these Army of Renowns. I just feel like they should have like how there's not a Zangor army feels like such a wild miss because that's what people want. The Warflock is really fun and cool and the best models.
Yeah.
And
like these just feel like such a whiff.
The only thing that makes me cry a little bit is the fact that that Silver Summoner doesn't work on Warflock units. Like it makes me hurt inside.
Sure. Yeah. They were like, no. How dare you try to bring back 3 Zangor on disc?
No, two, because you only get half rounded up.
I'm assuming I'm using it on a unit of 6. What are we doing here?
Oh, fair. Sorry.
I think
I had to take a non-reinforced unit of Zangor on disc. Come on now. All right.
I was going to say, I think whenever you play somebody who you've never played before in like a local gaming store, I would suggest trying out the Demon Tzeentch, just because you never it's a good fun list to play, basically, and it does have a mechanic to. And minus, 1 to your opponent's armor save is pretty big when you have a unit that can now shoot in combat. Blue horse, pink horse can all shoot in combat now, and they'll all be -1 rend. And so that's pretty impactful. And then having a 5-up ward save also at all times. And there's be ways to get your dice down to 9 pretty easily, very quickly with spell casting. And then all of a sudden now you're there. And then of course next turn you get a dice for free to let you re-roll and do it again. And so I think it would be a lot of fun before exposing them to the real book.
Yeah. We're going to ease you into this.
Correct. Yeah, I want to keep my friends around.
Yeah. Yeah, the demon one is like okay at best. It can be fun. The Arcanite one is just a joke. Like we put that in there as a joke, okay? Like that's not you're not being serious here with this. What is this?
Yeah.
This is an Army of Renown for no one. If this Army of Renown is for you, if you're the person, you have like 120 painted acolytes. Sound off in the comments. I want to hear because I guess this is the one for you, Jim. Well, I'm just going to take a swing. Amazing.
Yeah.
At any rate, that brings us to the end of the book. All right, guys, what a great book. I mean, honestly, yes, there will be some NPE here. That's simply true. There will be some melee armies that just absolutely die to this book and get like a mix of roasted and outplayed where they never kill anything and you utterly level them. That is all true. But this is a very fun book to like build with. Its play pattern is wild. I had an incredibly good time playing this. I felt like, wow, we're really playing like this. I felt like my brain was in overdrive the whole time I was playing. Like we got to use the whole brain here.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, Tom, final thoughts.
I mean, it brought me to sending my order form for my next event army. So, I mean, I had more than half of a Tzeentch army, so I just needed to round out with a couple units. We're good.
Sure. Very good. Caleb, final thoughts? I'll give you the last word.
No, it's by far the most Tzeentchy book I've ever played. And it is a ton of fun to play. It's not really fun to play against. But at the same time, there's so many tools to unlock to beat it, and there's also a lot of tools to unlock to play it, right? And so I think we just have to play it and keep trying. And I know there's going to be FAQs that come. I know there's going to be point changes. If it's too good of a book, then we're going to get smashed down. And if it's too weak of a book because nobody can master it, then some adjustments will happen as well. But it's just incredibly fun. I just want people to try it and play it.
Agreed completely. Yeah, I think in the end, like a lot of their win rate will probably not be that high because there'll be a core group of players like yourself who've played Tzeentch, who know this army, who know what units can do, who are like really good players, who are just going to wreck with this. And there's going to be a lot of other people who just like, oh boy, are they going to trip over this thing? So we'll see. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who super chatted, donated to the show. That is really appreciated deeply. Thank you to everybody who commented and talked the whole time. Tzeentch is really exciting. I hope every book has the same flavor Maybe not the same level of complexity, but certainly the same level of flavor as Tzeentch going forward. If we get that, and next week we'll do LRL. And by the way, that book also a win. Just a little pre thing for you if you stuck till the end. Also a win. It's a very fun, very cool book. So look forward to that. Don't forget, support the show, hit like, hit subscribe, do those things that make dings. It makes you cooler. It helps us out, helps other people find the show. Don't forget down below, check out all the links. I'll put everything down there, including the link to Caleb's awesome Etsy shop where you can get your fantastic game aids for your games. I mean, you don't want to be like a loser sitting there with just like some kind of cardboard stick or some base ridiculous ruler. You gotta roll up to the table in style. Tell them that you're serious, and that's where Caleb comes in.
Hold on. Brand new matte colors.
There you go. Look at that. See, boom.
Nice.
So
you know, funny story. You know what color mine are that you sent me, Caleb?
I remember teal. Was it purple?
No, it was Tzeentch teal. That's
Tzeentch
exactly
teal?
what it is.
Yeah. That's all.
all has been foretold exactly according to plan. So thank you,
Yeah.
everybody. Hit those links, hit that stuff up, support the show. Don't forget to check out the other podcasts, new episodes of both Fireball the Gazebo, my RPG podcast with John, talking about tech and guns in D&D is out this week, as well as my newest episode of Snarlcast with Uncle Adam, our indie wargaming podcast. Both are out. You can find links for everything. All the stuff is down there. Hit the links. It is much appreciated. For all the rest of you out there, hey, thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And as always, we'll see you next Wednesday. And don't forget, start rolling.